Hey, Cowboys Nation. Welcome back to Keeping Up with the Joneses. My name is Rika, and I'm here against my will. Later tonight on the show, Marcus Jones of Bluff City Cowboy will be joining us, and also Amanda Foster from the Facebook group DC4L. And with me, as always, recently named AARP's Sexiest Man of the Year, Charley Moffett. What's going on, Charley? How you been?
Good.
All right, we're waiting on Bluff. We don't really know how to do a show without him. He's smarter than both of us combined. In the meantime, what do you want to talk about, my guy?
You want to do the Twisted Gorilla?
Yeah, we could do the Twisted Gorilla. We could definitely talk about Twisted Gorilla.
Did you forget about that?
Yeah, I kind of forgot about everything I'm supposed to talk about.
Miss Professional.
Yeah, I'm not at all professional.
You're talking about me being an AARP.
Yeah, I messed up the thumbnail today, and I barely know how to do this. All right, guys, listen. TwistedGorilla.com has some of the best t-shirts online. They've got funny t-shirts, sarcastic t-shirts, but most importantly, y'all, they've got Cowboys t-shirts. So head to TwistedGorilla.com. Let them know that you're a fan of the Cowboys, that you're a fan of Keeping Up with the Joneses, and that you're a fan of mine when you use coupon code RIKA15 at checkout, and that code will save you 15%. So we got that going on. Got a few viewers in. No comments going. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to comment on this shit show either. That's just, how we're doing this.
It usually starts off slow.
Yeah, it usually does. I don't blame it. It's the worst show on YouTube. I'm so fucking proud of it. All right. Dallas, Minnesota. Charley, the biggest story is Dak. What do you think?
I don't know. I've been talking about it today on Twitter a couple times. Nobody knows. You have a group of people think he's going to play, a group of people who don't think he's going to play, and of course, whoever's right is going to start pulling receipts and saying, "I told you so." But it's a guess at this time. You didn't know. Nobody knows. I would probably lean towards that he'll play, considering that he's practiced all week. Not practice, but he's been there all week.
Right.
He's done walkthroughs with first team. So, and they put him through a pretty rigorous workout Thursday. But he did come in sore on Friday. So that's a little bit of a negative. But this is how I look at it. None of us know. So if he can play, and it's just going to be soreness and some tenderness, but he won't be 100%. He'll be 85, 80%. He'll play. If it's going to be something that can go further and make him hurt it worse, they're not going to let him play. So to me, it's pretty simple. And since none of us know how serious the injury is, and none of us seen an MRI, and even if we did, we wouldn't know what the fuck we was looking at anyways, then nobody knows right now. It's a guess right now. Whoever guesses right, they guess. They didn't fucking know. But they'll pull receipts and they're banging their chest saying, "I told y'all he was going to play," or "I told you no way he's going to play." It's all a guess game. I think there's a lot of things that goes into it. I think it's a matter, can he protect himself? Even if he can't hurt it worse, is he going to be limited to a point where they don't think he can protect himself? I think it being prime time, although it shouldn't matter, I think that matters. It being against a conference team, I think that matters. there's all kinds of things go in it, but right now I can't tell you. My guess is I lean. That's not my guess. I lean towards he's going to play, but that's as far as I can take it. I'm not going to stand on no fucking hill and saying he'll play, but I'm not going to stand on the hill saying there's no way he can't. Once again, because I don't know. I don't know the injury. We just know it's a calf strain. We don't know how. We know it ain't the worst where he'd be out. Definitely, he won't be walking right now. He doesn't have surgery. But we don't know. I mean, Aaron Rodgers played with one. Troy Aikman played with one. So who knows? We'll see. I do appreciate the enthusiasm from some Cowboy fans, but I think they're letting a little bit of their fanboyish come out in them when they say they're not worried about it, that we can win this game with Cooper Rush. Well, can we? Sure. There's always that any given Sunday attitude we can bring into it. But the probability of winning that game without fucking Dak, it's very slim. So I kind of get a laugh out of people not worried about it. It's like, oh, this, because we're so loaded, this team we can do it with Rush. This is the thing. I heard that same fucking thing in 2015 when Romo went down. Everybody's, oh, I'm not worried. We can still win games without Romo, and we fucking sucked. So unless Cooper Rush pulls a fucking Dak Prescott, comes in as a backup and just lights it up, and there's no fucking reason for us to think he's going to do that, it's not going to be pretty if Dak doesn't play. We'll do our predictions at the end of the game, end of the show, but a little secret, I will pick us to lose if Dak's not playing. I'm not going to pick a game. I've watched way too much football and watched way too many backups come in and sucked, and people always want to rely on the Dak Prescotts of the world, the fucking Kurt Warners of the world, the Tom Brady's of the world. Well, dude, them fuckers don't go in trees. That's why there's been fucking 100 years of football, and y'all can only name about 10 times that shit's happened. And I can name fucking 2,000 times when a backup comes in and the fucking team sucks. I can just go off Cowboy games and tell you how many times our backup came in and they sucked. So I have very little faith in Cooper.
All right, so we've got Switch 208 in the chat, the 94s. Thank you for joining us. And Dwayne Wright comes in, says that he liked and shared before joining. Thank you, Dwayne. Hey, kids, be like Dwayne. Like the video. And if you don't like Charley, you can dislike it. But why wouldn't you like Charley? He's the best. And don't forget to share it. That's the biggest thing you can do for us, and we would greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so YouTube will let you know every single time we go live. And back to the Dak talk. Yeah. Switch 208 says, yeah.
Do you know Dwayne Wright?
I do not know Dwayne Wright.
Right. I just, sometimes when new people come up, I don't know who they are. And
Hey, Mendoza.
I know who he is.
Definitely know Mendoza. So, can Rush and the run game beat the Vikings? You know what? Here's my thing, Switch. My thinking on this game this last week has been that. So Dallas has the number 1 offense. Minnesota is ranked at about number 5. Of course, those rankings depend on where you're getting your rankings at. The biggest difference between our offense and the Vikings offense is that they are not solid in the middle part of their line. The guards, the center, they've got some big problems there. And it is extremely easy to put a great deal of pressure up the middle. I think Osa Odigizua is going to have a very big game this week. With that being said, I think the best way to win this game is going to be for Dallas to run up the score early, then run the ball. In that scenario, the Vikings won't be able to use Dalvin Cook as much. They're going to have to throw it, and with the pressure that Osa is going to be able to put on them, the accuracy is going to be off, and that's going to let Diggs do what Diggs do. So can Rush and the run game beat the Vikings? Maybe. It's going to be a shootout if we have to resort to that, I think. I think it'll be a run game shootout is what it'll end up being. It'll be Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard versus Dalvin Cook all day long if we go Cooper Rush. Charley, what do you think?
No?
Okay, tell me why. I love it. No, I want you to tell me no. Tell me why, babe.
It's fucking Cooper Rush. It's, I mean, come on, people. He's been second, third string, been on practice squads. We've seen his fucking noodle arm. I mean, it's just that if we go in and you say, can the run game beat him? If people talk about stacked boxes all the time, which we don't see a lot of them, that's a highly, highly overrated statement when people say that. I'll show you a stat here in a little bit if you want.
Okay.
But they will this game if Cooper Rush is playing. And our run game is going to be hard to be effective when they're fucking putting 8 and 9 men in the box all the time. And they don't do it that much. Just to let you on a little secret. Fucking Zeke sees about 21% of stacked boxes. That means 79% of the time he's not seeing shit. Fucking goddamn. Pollard sees 23%. I know that surprises people, but yes, Pollard sees more stat boxes than Zeke does. They're both going to see a lot more if fucking Dak's not in there. And it will affect our run game. And and it's not a negative on Coop. It's not a negative on Coop. It is, but it's just Jesus. I mean, he's a backup for a reason. I mean, hell, people were surprised we even fucking kept him. I mean, and now some of the same people are surprised we kept him are the fucking ones saying we got a chance to fucking win the game fucking with them. It's just, look, there's that any given Sunday thing. I've been saying this. I mean, fuck, I seen Jason Garrett beat fucking Green Bay in 94. Yes, I mean, he didn't even play that well. So, yes, it can happen, but the chance of this happening is fucking slim to none. I mean, just slim to none. I mean, we're the number one offense, number two, number three, depending on what stats and metrics you're looking at. We're one of the top offenses in the NFL. And why in the fuck are we one of the top offenses in the NFL? Because of fucking Dak. Exactly. Why is our run game one of the top run games in the NFL? I'm sorry, people, because of Dak. A lot has to do with the offensive line. I'm not taking anything with them, but it also has a lot to do with fucking Dak. Look at Zeke's last year. Look at Zeke and Pollard last year without Dak and with the banged up offensive line. Now all of a sudden, Zeke's back. Fucking, we're all fucking wrong about Zeke, and our offensive line good, and Dak is good. It's not a fucking coincidence, people. That's why your playbook changes, and I said this last week. Your playbook changes when your fucking starter quarterback goes out. Our playbook might be about that big. Like, I won't even put it in a screen. You can't tell. Once Dak goes out, that playbook gets about right that big. You can't call the same plays that you can with Dak. Cooper Rush cannot run the same plays as Dak. It's just not going to happen. When everybody was bitching about fucking Moore last year, which I think is funny because now everybody wants to fire McCarthy and hire Moore. But when people was bitching last year about Moore's play calling, I try to explain it then. When you lose quarterback one, your playbook shrinks. When you lose the fucking offensive lineman that we did, your playbook shrinks. You just cannot call the plays that you can when you have QB1 in there. It just does not work the same. And again, this reminds me of 2015 when fucking Romo went down and everybody's like, oh, we'll be fine. We have the number one fucking offensive line. Fucking anybody can run behind this fucking hell, we had fucking whatchamacallit. Hell, my mind just went blank who our running back is. Old man from the Raiders. Anyways, we had him. Hell, we did good that year in run. We was top 9. We finished. He finished with 1,000 yards with 12 starts. So our run game was fine, but we went fucking 4-11, 4-12. That's because we had no passing game. And that's how it's going to be this year. I mean, if that goes down, it's how it's going to be this Minnesota game. Like I said, I'm not trying to poo-poo on it. And I'm sure if we win with fucking Coop, everybody will. Oh, I fucking told you. Again, there's a slim chance. There's always that chance. There's always a chance everything will work out. Our defense just goes the fuck off and just has a badass game and shuts them out, holds them to 10 fucking points, and we can win 13-10, or there's a chance that Cooper just would catch fire and just the football gods are with us that night and he just throws for 300 yards and goes the fuck off. There's always that chance, but the likelihood of it happening is it's not likely. That's all I'm saying. I won't never say nothing is impossible because I've seen some crazy shit happen in the NFL, but I don't see the confidence in Coop like everybody else does. I think people are talking about all of our weapons and our offensive line and our run game. That makes all that fucking go. Yeah. They're fucking great because he's fucking great. He makes all that go. I'm not saying they're not great. They went on another team, but I mean, you got to have a quarterback to run this shit. I don't know. I just don't trust it.
Okay, let me just check the chat. Amanda has joined us, you guys. She's going to be on the show here in just a little while. And DJ Dog, I'm so happy to see you. Bluff is on his way in. And Amanda says she thinks that Cooper Rush can manage one game. Um, I'm with her on that. I mean, I think Cooper Rush can manage one game. Would I bet money on Dallas to win this week without Dak? Oh, absolutely not. But I'm not going to run around screaming the sky is falling either. We've got a 3-game lead in the division. And yeah, I think Cooper Rush can manage one game. I think that, though, in that game, we're probably, like Charley said, our playbook is going to decrease. We're definitely going to change up the way that we do business. And the Vikings, I'm definitely not underestimating them, even though they're 3-3. You got to take a look at those 3 losses that they've suffered, the teams that they were against. They've got a really good offense, but they've got a defense that I think that we can handle. They've got some very good receivers, but as I said before, if our defensive tackles do their job and keep that pressure on Cousins, then his, the threat of those receivers goes down because his accuracy is definitely going to go down. And that's going to let Diggs do what Diggs do. Well, it's Keith.
But yeah, I don't,
says Charley, you'll feel better after the game tomorrow night. I agree. And Tavis, thanks. Hi, Tavis. Thank you for joining. Dak is going to play. He didn't go to Minnesota just to parlay. I like that. And
last time I checked,
what happened to Gilbert? Garrett Gilbert? He's back at the Patriots, I believe.
Unless something happened since then and they released him. I don't keep up with other people's third string quarterbacks. So,
right.
But at one time he was with the Patriots after we cut him.
Yeah, initially, right then during that week of cuts when we cut him, the Patriots picked him up, which was where he was. I don't know if he was anywhere else before the Patriots, but he was with them for a while though. Yeah, he has a couple of rings from backing up Brady. Some of those Carson Wentz rings, the ones you win when you're sitting on the bench. Gotta love those.
Yeah, but like I said, it's not impossible for a backup to win. It happens. But to fucking, I don't think it would happen. Could I be wrong? Sure. It's just, but I'm not worried about it because then if we lose the game, I'm not like, I'm not gonna lose my shit if we lose with Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush, he's so ass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lose. I mean, if Cooper plays and we lose, I'm not going to be upset. It's just, we have a big lead. We're fine. It's not, I mean, it hurts us a little bit on the bye week, but other than that, our division, we got that handled right now. So no, it's not going to upset me, but I just, like I said, I don't have confidence in Cooper Rush, but I don't have no confidence in any backup quarterback. I've said it many times. When your backup quarterback goes down, 90% of the time you're fucked. It's just, I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, they're backups for a reason. There's 32 fucking goddamn quarterbacks in the NFL. And if you're a backup, that means you're at best a 33rd. Sometimes you might be better because somebody else starting is worse. That happens. But you know what I mean. You're not that fucking good if you ain't got a starting job because teams are dying for quarterbacks. So if you're a backup, you're pretty far down the fucking food chain on fucking quarterbacks. But yeah, no, like I said, there's always that any given Sunday theory, and sure, it could happen. He can go in there and play great, play bad. Either way, we win, and I'm like, all right, we won. Great, but I'm not going to predict it, and I'm not going to say I think we can because I don't think we can. But stranger things has happened.
All right. Hey, Charlie Marcus is waiting for a code.
Okay.
Let's see. Stephen White has joined the chat. Hi, Stephen. He's got some beans going in the Instapot. I just got one of those last month. I really like it. I'm enjoying it so far. And he's wearing a Rush number 10 with pride tomorrow. Where the hell do you get a Rush jersey?
I don't know.
Did you? How do you? Do you have to order that? How do you get a Cooper Rush jersey?
You order one blank and you just fucking put a name on it, I guess. I don't know.
Like Iron On. Okay. I swear. Oh, I believe that you got one. I'm just trying to figure out where the hell you get one. He says, I swear I got one. Franco Geekin is not a Cooper Rush fan. He's called him ass, and he's saying that the jersey sold on Wish.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Stephen White. We are a team. I mean, we was a team last year and we fucking sucked. You know, we was a team in 2015 and we fucking sucked without Romo. I mean, it was a team in 2008 without Romo for 3 games and we fucking went 1-2 and was a big reason why we missed the playoffs that year, besides us being shitty at the end of the season. I mean, yes, there's only so much, you know.
Fucking hey, there he is.
Hey, what's going on?
All right, Bluff is in the building, and Eric Berger's in the chat because he's a loser that doesn't want to be on camera with us. Going on record as saying that. I'm going to clip that, share it all over the place.
What'd you say, Bluff? No, since she wasn't coming on later, I messaged her to see if she wanted to come on later with you. Make sure, because I knew you wanted to be on when she was on and shit. So I told her you was going to be on around 8:30. She said, good, just send the link at 8:30. So
okay,
she was in the chat earlier.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead, since you're on, I'll go ahead and send her that link and get her on.
I'll do it. I'm going to make a whole freaking video about why Eric is a loser.
What's up, everybody? I see the comments been going crazy so far. Stephen White has really been leaving some great comments, I see.
Yes.
Look at Bluff coming in, not even 30 seconds, taking over the chat like a fucking producer.
I know, man.
That's my boy.
This show is a piece of crap without Bluff on it.
Yeah, we all start out. Bluff comes on.
Start off. I forget what I'm supposed to say.
Everything just levels out.
It's ridiculous.
Fucking Eric said that'd be a long ass video. Yes, it would. Yes, it would, Eric.
So what's been the topic so far?
My boy Blue.
Whether or not Dak is going to play, and if he doesn't play, how bad are we going to lose, and what kind of game are we going to have? Lots of running, lots of passing. Okay. How are we going to get it done? That's the topic so far. It's been kind of.
You guys think it's Dak a bust?
Topic.
Yes,
you do. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, is there a chance? Well, yeah, you know. Oh, I was about to say something really dirty, but I can't say that on air. Yeah, there's a chance. You know, there's a.
If you feel like you can't say something on camera, Charlie, it really has to be bad.
I'll tell you when we go off air what I was going to say, and you're like, yeah, I'm glad you didn't say that. But yeah, no, there's a chance for anything. You know, I mean, anything can happen. But if you're looking at it, to me, logically, and I don't mean that rude to other people, but if you're looking logically, yeah, the chances is slim to none. I mean, it's just, I mean, this offense is top 5 in fucking everything there is. Because of Dak, you know, yes, we still got superstar players, but them superstar players are superstar players because Dak gets them the ball. That's because true. Dak checks out of the plays and gets in the right plays. You know, like there will be plays that Cooper Rush sees 2 deep high and it's a fucking pass play, and instead of fucking Dak checking out, Cooper's going to run it. There would be plays when they're stacking a man, 8-9 man in the box where Dak's like, fuck this, I'm checking out, we're passing it. Cooper Rush won't do that. He won't see that. And he's going to run into 8-9 man boxes. I mean, there's little nuances like that backups, like I said earlier, there's a reason they're a backup. If you're a backup, that means you're running the 33rd best quarterback in the NFL because there's 32 openings, you know? So, you know, now, are there stories of backups? Yes, there's a story of Dak. But do we really think Cooper Rush is going to come in and take over like Dak did? No. You know, Kurt Warner, Tom Brady, fucking, you know, I can name a few. But like I said earlier, out of 100 years of football, that happens very rarely. That's why there's always about 7 or 8 people always mention. But they don't mention another 2,000 times, 5,000 times that the whole team went to shit when the backup quarterback came in. You know, that shit, it doesn't fucking happen often. You know, I mean, I'm not worried because if we lose, it's not like, oh, the fucking season's over, we're doomed. No, we got a comfortable lead in the fucking East. It fucks us on the bye a little bit, but hey, you know, it's only one bye anymore anyway, so you just gotta. The likelihood of even getting a bye is going to be slim, you know. Yeah. So no, I'm not worried about it, dude.
Let me ask you this question then. This is for you and Rika. So let's assume Dak plays. and this is probably going to the end of the show, so I hate to put it out there now. But if Dak plays, what's the margin of victory? Is it still a coin flip? Is it double digits?
No, it's I had it by one score. I won't tell you exactly what it was, but it's one score.
All right, what about you, Rika?
With us winning.
I'm thinking if Dak plays the Cowboys winning, it's gonna be in the around the 10-point range.
Okay.
In that neighborhood, 10 to 12, something like that.
So you guys think Rush shaves off 10 points off top from the offense?
Yeah.
And I guess that's the kind of way I'm looking at it. And if that's what you feel like, I have no problem with it. I just want to see, like, what's the range? Like, do you think we have no shot? Is it we got to get lucky? Is it we probably have a win if Dak plays, and if Rush plays, then we lose 10 points off top or something like that?
Yeah, I feel like your offense drops. Yes, a good 10 points.
Okay,
if Dak ain't playing.
I would agree with that. I just wanted to know where we were.
Yeah, it's just I don't even know how to say it. It's just holy shit. Everything can work out.
Yeah.
Like I said, everything can work out. Our defense can come out and just fucking balls out, have 5 turnovers, score more turnovers, and all that great shit happens. Or Cooper could come out and fucking for whatever reason just lights it the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at Cooper and his history, I don't see how you that is a big hope and prayer if you think that, because that's just I mean, he's been a backup, he's been third string, he's been on practice squad, he's been cut, he's been fucking signed, cut again. I mean, there's a reason why all this is happening, and it's just like I said, I'm not saying there's no chance. There's always a chance. Like I said earlier, I seen Garrett, somebody brought it up too earlier on Twitter. I seen Garrett beat Green Bay in 94, fucking just bombing his way to fucking Mike, but the defense was badass, fucking run game was badass. I mean, and I hate to compare it to that. And I hate other people comparing to that just for a simple reason. That team was different than this team. As great as this team is, them fucking 90 Cowboys teams, you can't really compare what we did back then to anybody, because them teams were probably some of the best teams ever played football. I mean, both offense and defense. So Amanda's in.
Yeah. Now,
hello.
How you doing, Amanda?
Hi, Amanda.
Hey, y'all. How are y'all?
Hey, y'all.
On the subject of Cooper Rush, real quick, listening to y'all, I was getting a little antsy. Okay, I don't like Cooper Rush. You've seen me all week, Marcus. You know what I've been saying. Okay, I am of the opinion that putting Cooper Rush in for one game is a lot better than potentially having to start him for 5 games, because that calf strain worsens. They never came out and said what that calf strain was, what grade it was, and I thought they were really keeping that under wraps. And I just don't. I think that Cooper Rush can come in and manage the game. The big thing for us is going to be defense. If he has to come in, we've got to stop Dalvin Cook, or he is going to mow us down. And there's no way Cooper Rush can get into a shootout with Kirk Cousins in prime time. It's not going to happen. And Kirk, his record in prime time is, well, we all know how that is.
Yeah.
But I really do think he can do it. I agree with the 10 points. I think we lose 10 points by putting him in. But I think the risk reward thing is we've got too good a team to risk losing Dak further. So let him come in, manage the game, and just hope for the best. Andy Dalton beat the Vikings last year.
That's true.
And that's all it took. And we were terrible. We had a patchwork offensive line that was a mess. There was nothing for us there. So I really do think that Cooper Rush can come in one game. It'll be close. But I think even with Rush, Cowboys by at least 3.
All right. Let me ask this follow-up question, because I'm still trying to just gauge where we are with Rush. Do you guys, you say we lose 10 points. Is it strictly off just him not being able to manage the offense, or do you have concerns that he may have some turnovers? Like, do you plan on seeing him just have a 2 or 3 turnover game because he's just a backup guy?
Biotish has had some really big issues with snapping the ball, and Dak has handled that really well. But I don't know how Cooper can actually handle that himself. So that's my concern there. And He's got first string reps all week, and that's good. But I just don't know if he's capable of making passes and keeping our third down, completion rates. I don't think he can manage the way Dak does. Dak is an elite quarterback, and I just don't think Rush is at that level. That's why it shaves 10 points off.
Okay. So you're more drive management than just him being a turnover machine.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's great. I just wanted to know because I hear people talk, and it's great to have a show like this because we can actually get people's opinions. So guys in the comments, because I see you guys have been doing this as well. Let us know what you think about Cooper Rush and why you think some people saying DJ Dog says 27-10 if Rush plays. Why do you think that?
There's two things for DJ. Well, you can answer. I'm thinking he's online with us. Two things. First of all, what Amanda's talking about when I'm talking about two different things. I'm not for rushing Dak. If they go into the game, they're like, hey, look, if you play, you can injure it worse, then no fucking way I want him on the field because I don't want Cooper Rush in there for 4 or 5 games. So I'm okay with playing Cooper Rush if Dak can't go. I mean, if Dak is going to hurt himself worse, then yes, I'm not saying put Dak out there no matter what. I'm just saying if Cooper Rush does have to play, because I said at the first of the show, I don't know when Rika asked me, do I think he plays or not? I told her, I don't know. I said, nobody knows. It's a guessing game right now.
That's true.
Nobody's seen an MRI. And if you did see an MRI, most of us fucks don't know how to read one anyways. So we don't know what the injury is. They only know that. So they only know. All of us are just guessing. All right. So if it's bad and they need to set him, hell yeah, set him. Don't put him out there just to try to win for whatever reason, because we got a comfortable lead. I'm just saying if he does play, I think we're in a whole heap of shit. Now, as far as what you said earlier about was asked the question to Amanda, the 10 points, I think is a lot of things. I think the defense will be on the field more. I think we're going to see a lot more 3 and outs. We're not going to see a lot of long sustained drives. Turnovers, he's kind of got a fucking noodle arm, so I'm not so sure how many of them he'll have. I'm not so sure how much they'll let him pass and how much, that's going to affect. I think Minnesota is going to stack the shit out of the box. And for people to say that we face that every week, no, we don't. I'll say it again. Zeke sees 21% stacked boxes. Pollard actually sees more stacked boxes than Zeke at 23%. All right, so neither one of them, that's good for 14th and 17th in NFL. And if you count guys below 60 carries, 50 or more, they're 20th and 23rd running backs against stacked boxes. They don't see a lot of stacked boxes. All right, but they will this game if Cooper Rush plays. They will stack the box. That will change our run game. All right, then you might get some turnovers if we're forced to pass. If it's a fucking shootout, yeah, there's going to be some turnovers. Yeah. But if God forbid, if we can if our defense can hold them and make it a low-scoring game, sure, I guess, I don't think there'll be many turnovers. But yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons why it's a 10-point shave. And the most important one, he's not Dak Prescott.
That's true.
He's just not Dak Prescott. And as far as Andy Dalton beating him last year, Andy Dalton's just a better quarterback than fucking Cooper Rush. Nobody was on the open market and wanted Cooper Rush to fucking sign him to a 3-year deal. Nobody gave a shit about Cooper Rush.
Yeah, but Denver was not Denver. Chicago is pretty desperate.
Looks like they still are.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody. Either way, Chicago was desperate, and they didn't sign Cooper Rush. Fucking, there's about 15 teams in NFL that's pretty desperate for a quarterback, and none of them signed Cooper Rush. Fucking, so I mean, Andy Dalton's a better quarterback than Cooper Rush, and I'm not so sure there's much of a debate on that.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. Rika, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Stephen White put this question up, and I've seen this kind of floating around Twitter. How would you feel about you start Rush off, and if we fall behind or he just starts to look bad, then you bring Dak in as kind of like an emergency / magic cleanup guy?
Actually, I would reverse that.
Okay.
I would actually reverse that. I would start off with Dak. I would try to run up that score passing very quickly. And then I would get Dak off of the field and use Cooper Rush on and do more running and more short throws and eat up some clock time then later in the game into the late second quarter and into the third, depending on where we were going into the half, I would let Dak go out there healthy, early, let him drive that score up, and then let the defense try to just hold the Vikings at bay and use rush, just to eat some clock up.
Yeah, like Dale Prime says, Cooper Rush is good at throwing screens, even though we don't do that as much as we should, in my opinion.
And I like that. I like that idea though of splitting it, but I would reverse that. I would start with Dak and don't make him have to play catch up where he might want to come out of that pocket a little bit, try to run, try to slide. No, keep it clean. Let him drive that score up fast.
I see you got a couple of people agreeing with you in the comments, Rika. Is Tanya part of your fan club? I haven't seen her name before, actually.
Oh, I don't know Tanya, but thank you for joining the show.
There's no fucking way I'd do that. There's no way. If Dak say if he's
I could just see it on Charlie's face. He was ready to say that.
If he's not fucking ready to go and you ain't gonna start him, why the fuck you gonna bring him in to save the day and then let him get hurt and for a fucking game that right now does not mean that much. Right now, I know it can at the end of the season. I fucking get that, but right now, if that game doesn't mean enough for you to start him, you don't bring him in to save the day. Fuck that. There ain't no way. Then he gets hurt and fucking out for 6 games.
Right.
For what? Because you want him to save the day? No. I wouldn't be mad at what Rika said if they decide to start him and we get a lead, or even if we decide to start him and he comes sideline and say, hey, man, it's tightening up. Get him the fuck off the field and let fucking Cooper go in. Yeah. But no, you don't start Cooper and then let fucking Dak play hero. Fuck that. I'd be pissed if they did that.
Amanda, you along the same lines?
Yeah, and I guess I've been told that I protect Dak. Maybe I'm being a little too cautious on that, but I don't even I agree with Charlie. What's the point? Yes, I get that there's only one bye this year. One team gets it, and I get that. And right now we're all pretty even. But no matter what, Tampa Bay beats us head to head on that. So I look at that too in the aspect. I'm like, this game really doesn't mean anything. And then, but you look at who we play next week, and it's like, well, that doesn't really mean anything either. So if they were gonna do that, bring him in and let him play and get the score up. But then you risk the injury. I just want the doctors to say he's good to go and not lead to a torn Achilles, because we all know what calf muscles do. That's my concern here, is just be careful.
Yeah, no, me and Ben agree totally on that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Cooper. I don't think we can win with Cooper, but I'm not saying, hey, play Dak at any expense. No, I want Dak to sit if he needs to sit. And like I said, I don't know because I can't read an MRI, even if I saw one, even though I've seen many in 1 year. I've seen a lot of them, x-rays and all kinds of shit. I still don't know how to read the motherfuckers, unless a bone's broke, I can see that, But other than that, yeah, I don't know. So as long as the doctors say, hey, he can go, if they're saying he can go, then I trust the doctors and I trust the coaching staff to do it. But if they say no, and to me, this is pretty simple, y'all. If the doctors say no, Dak's not playing. Right. So if he doesn't play, we know it was a doctor's decision. It was a trainer's decision. Yeah. If he plays, we know that the doctors and the trainer are saying, hey, he's good. He can't hurt any further. He might not be fucking 100%. He might only be about 80%, but there's no chance of him hurting it further. He'll be fine. He'll just be limited. Then he'll play. And so whether he plays or not, we'll get our answer Sunday and what the doctor said, because it's all up, because they're not going to risk a $160 million quarterback who the reason we are where we are is because of Dak. Yeah. They're not going to risk that for one game. None of them are. Jerry Jones won't, as much as that fuck wants to win. He's not going to risk that. Mike McCarthy played last year without Dak. He damn sure be willing to go a game without Dak just to make sure he's there for the rest of the season. So we'll all get our answer what the doctor said, because this is going to be a doctor's decision. It would be a complete 100% trainer and doctor decision. So to me, that's why I say it's pretty simple. Everybody's guessing and trying to read body language like they got some fucking kind of PhD and try to read verbal shit on press conference. Well, you see how he talked about that? See how he said that? This is why I think that. Yeah, shut the fuck up, dude. You go get a fucking degree in something. You don't know what the fuck he means by how he says it. Nobody knows right now.
I'm actually curious if maybe they have known his designation all week, and it's more of a mind game with Minnesota at this point. I'd do it. If I knew Dak wasn't going to
absolutely.
suit up, I'd stroll him out there and let him practice a little bit, go through individual drills, keep Minnesota guessing so they can't really have an accurate game plan. I mean, there's not a lot of film on Rush anyway. He's not that great. We know that, but it could be a big mind game.
It could be a mind game either way. They can know he's going to play. That there's no chance he's not going to play. That they know he's going to be there, but there's no reason to say it. Even though there's not a lot that they can do, because like if you're a Minnesota team, you're preparing for fucking Dak all week. Whether no matter what, you're preparing for Dak. And if Cooper Rush comes in, you're like, fuck yes. The whole defense is celebrating Sunday. Mike Vikings defense if they see Cooper Rush run out on the field. So, but as far as like mind games, yeah, there's no reason. That's what I love about Belichick. That motherfucker don't give anybody nothing. Fucking Tom Brady was on an injury report for 12 fucking years, and played every game. He didn't want nobody knowing, hey, he's fucking got a shoulder thing. He got a finger thing, but hey, I ain't going to tell y'all anything. You'll see fucking Sunday, So yeah, I have no problem with that if it's a mind game. And yeah, you're right. There's a lot of people thinking that this is all mind games. There's a lot of people think this is all mind games. He's actually going to play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But definitely there's no reason for Mike McCarthy or the Dallas Cowboys to say, hey, on Thursday, Dak was going to play Sunday. No reason. Why? There's no reason. Wait till game time, and then fucking roll him out there or set him on a bench, whatever they're going to do.
Yeah, like I saw Tavis Banks make the comment earlier, Dak is going to play, then go to Minnesota just to parlay.
Yeah. I like that comment, Tavis.
Yeah.
Well, there's another guy on Twitter who made a good point of why he thinks he'll play. There's a lot of good points. Doesn't mean they know that if Dallas really didn't think he could play, it wasn't planning on playing him, then why do they have him out there for 3 days, fucking making him go through fucking individual drills, especially Thursday when they made him go full go, 100%. Why would they do that? If they know he's not going to play, then just set him on the side and let him rest. Give him more rest. So that's why he thinks he's going to play. Like they worked him out all week. They let him go through a real hard, vigorous workout on Thursday. He was in walkthroughs. He was starting quarterback on walkthroughs. So why do all that if you don't plan on playing him? And that's a good point. I can say, and why fly him out there? Why not keep him back in Dallas and let him use that time to rehab and keep ice on it, keep heat on it, get massage, whatever the fuck they do to calves, and shit like that. So that's a good point too. I mean, I can make good points and lean towards either way, or why things that's happened, why I think they're going to start him, and why things that happen that I think they're going to bench him. At the end of the day, I go back to what I said earlier. Nobody knows. This is all a guessing game.
That's exactly what it is. We'll know Sunday night. It'll hurt my fantasy team. It'll hurt my fantasy team.
Yeah, I know. I got him on my quarterback, and I'm like, fucking, I'm keeping him in there. Even if they don't announce it till like 20 minutes before the game, I'll try to switch it out if I can. But
I'm ashamed to admit this, but I picked up Danny Dimes because he plays Monday night just as a backup option.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Hey, Matt Owen, thanks for coming in. Hey, Professor O says that Dak is playing. I'm on board. Dak's playing. Let's go.
All right. So,
you got any analytics on that, Matt?
I'm sure he does.
I bet he does.
But
just your new article, man. It was great. Fucking love your shit, dude.
Yeah, I'm completely lost when it comes to all the analytic stuff. So whenever I have a question, I always go to Charley or I go to Professor O. They both definitely
go to Professor O first, and if you can't get in touch with him, come me because he's more versed in it than I am. He's good at that shit.
And Matt O brings us up another good point. I think me and Rika hit it at the same time.
Yeah, we did. I'll let you hit it, Bluff.
All right, so and that's Mendoza told me this one earlier too. That his grandmother passed today. And why would he fly?
Thursday or Friday when she passed.
And he's had quite a few losses in the past.
And me and Rika talked about that today. I was like, Jesus Christ, man, that kid can't. And I call him a kid because he's much younger than me.
Right.
But yeah, that's just. But no, Matt, that's a good point. I've seen the other people bring it up too. That not just because they flew him out there, just how Dak is. Dak wants to play. So and it will ultimately be a doctor decision. But if they fucking tell him, hey, you can't hurt it no worse, but you're going to be sore and it's going to hurt. You're going to be wristed. Dak's playing. He's going to play for his grandmother. He's going to play for the Cowboys. He's going to play fucking the revenge game from 2019 game against fucking Minnesota. Fucking when Jason Garrett didn't fucking trust him to throw the fucking ball and ran the ball and fucking 2 straight downs and we fucking lost that game. But yeah, I think he'll play. If the doctors say, hey, you're good, but it's going to hurt. You're going to be restricted. Dak's playing. Dak don't give a shit about that. He'll as long as he knows it ain't going to go any further, he'll play. But no, that's a good point about his grandmother.
And that goes back, Bluff, to the question that you asked us earlier about, would you, play Rush part of the game, play Dak part of the game, and when I said, about starting Dak and then running that score up and then maybe pulling him off and resting him a little bit. It could be a situation with the doctors where they say, look, it's not going to get any worse, but it's not going to get any better. You're going to be sore. You're going to be a little bit of discomfort, but you can play. We'll let you play, where they say, okay, you know what? Let's put him out there. Let's get a 2-3 score lead on the Vikings. And then let's bring, if we can. And then let's bring Dak off if we can. We'll rest him and then we'll send Rush out.
Yeah, if we're in the fourth quarter,
I'm definitely not for playing Rush and then bringing Dak in to, as Charley said, save the day. That's an idiot idea, and I hate that idea. Yeah. But I wouldn't mind starting Dak, and if we get ahead, saying, yeah, let's go ahead and rest that cap up a little bit just in case, and then bringing Cooper Rush in the second half.
Yeah, if we're in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left, and we're up by 3 scores, and Dak's still playing, I'm going to go Dallas, and I'm going to beat the shit out of Mike McCarthy. All right, this fat fuck is going to whip that fat fuck's ass because there's no reason to have him in the game that late. So yeah, I'm a McCarthy fan. I'm defending him, but if he does some stupid shit like that, I would be pissed. But yeah, because I do expect if they did get a lead in the fourth quarter and it's a comfortable lead, they'll pull them.
All right, let's go to the flip side of that. And heaven forbid we get behind. How far behind do we have to be before we say, okay, let's just go ahead and put Rush in and try to manage the game as best we can?
Oh, you mean like we're getting our ass kicked?
Yeah.
Well, Bluff, that's hard, dude. You know why? Did you see last year?
That's true.
The Cleveland game, the Atlanta game, fucking every game, fucking Seattle game. Every game we was in, they was kicking the shit out of us, and we came back and got in the game.
That's a good point.
By the fourth quarter. So it's hard to say because you never know with Dak. Now, with that said, Dak did that by running around like a fucking chicken with his head cut off, making plays.
And look where that got him.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure you really want him fucking doing that with the calf strain. So I would understand. I think a lot of fan base would get pissed if you took him out. But if it's like a 3-4 score lead going into fourth quarter, I could see them saying, hey, you know what? Let's just fucking rest that cap and take this L, and let's fucking let old fucking Coop go in there and show us his fucking noodle arm. So, but yeah, that's a hard question, man, because with Dak, you always have a chance.
You always have a chance.
He showed that shit last year, so
Dak is one of those guys that will eventually be in that conversation with like a Tom Brady and an Aaron Rodgers, and you never rule them out. You don't know what they're capable of in those final minutes.
Amanda, jump in anytime you want without your picture being up there. I don't forget about you. I just,
girl.
I can't see you. So jump in anytime.
I just, on the case you said fans would be pissed if they pulled him out. The Cowboys fan base is pissed about almost anything. We can win, and they're still finding a reason to be pissed off. I argue constantly. In DC for L, there's so many people, and I argue back and forth respectfully because I have to, because that's my job. But we can win by 30 points, and someone's still going to be mad about something.
Oh yeah.
So if they get pissed, they get pissed. I've made a lot of people really upset this week because I am of the opinion that even if a doctor says, yeah, he's good to go, let him go. And this has been the hot subject all week, and everyone's just scared. And why they're scared is because we have such an amazing, we have a really big chance this year. It's been a long time since I've actually heard Cowboys and championship on every news channel. Every sports channel. That's what you're hearing because we're a contender this year, and we're a real contender. So people think about pulling Dak at the risk of one game. They think emotionally and not logically. And that's where Cowboys fans let emotions run wild. So they're going to get mad. Mm-hmm. But I think that whatever the decision is, that Dak's going to, if he is playing, if he's not playing, I just think that even with Dak, we have a chance at anything. He could go on a run next week and not miss a game if we lose tonight or tomorrow night. So I'm just of the opinion it's all going to work out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was watching some of our shows today because I was trying to find a clip so I can screenshot it and fucking share it. It was me dancing. Not that y'all want to see that shit, but anyways, long story. But
It's
I said,
burned in my brain.
I was watching all the things I said was about Mike McCarthy's game management, and I was like, look, all fucking coaches have bad game management. Fans, that's because fucking fans bitch about everything. Fucking Andy Reid gets bitched out about his game management. Hell, Bill Belichick, greatest coach of all time, probably. He has issues with game management and has been bitched at. It happens. But you're right. The second thing is Matt Owen. You can't see it. Matt Owen told me to ask you a question. Question for Amanda. What's the one thing that you think Dallas should address this offseason, and why is it Rowdy?
I love Rowdy. Why are we getting rid of Rowdy? What? No. I actually ordered one of those costumes, like the big Rowdy costume. I love that thing.
Well, because Matt Owen's anti-Rowdy, and so am I.
Yeah.
But so I'm sure he's asking you that because I guess he knows that you like Rowdy.
I was trying to
too.
start a terrible rumor online that that Rowdy steals stuffed animals from orphans and uses them to make his fake muscles. Didn't catch on, but I really liked it.
Do you know Matt Owen, Amanda?
I don't. I've seen his articles in the group.
Okay.
But
he's really great.
Yeah. Because he acted like he knew you liked him or something because he asked you that question. He can't stand him. He tweets about it all the time.
All the time.
He wants to trade him and get rid of him.
I mean, what does he want? Are we supposed to? Does he want the eagle? Is that what's really going on?
No.
Oh, not that unholy thing. It'll shit on our cars.
Well, it might eat horse shit too. I mean, there's a lot of things there.
Yeah, there is. I'm overrated. Matt said you're not overrated, buddy. You're underrated.
Definitely underrated, Professor.
All right, guys. Before we switch gears, real quick, let's go around. Yes or no, based off what you've seen so far, is Dak playing tomorrow?
Amanda, you're first. Go ahead.
That's not fair. Okay, no.
Take your feelings out of it, just based on what you've seen and just history. Do you think Dak plays?
Yes, I think they're going to start him, and I think it's a crazy idea. But yes, I do think he starts.
Rika?
There you go.
Yes.
Okay. I think he plays too. Charley?
Oh, you want me to answer that question too?
Yeah, everybody else answered it.
I got to give it 100%.
Just gut feeling right now. If you say
yeah, he'll play.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll play.
All right.
Yeah, he'll play.
Have you guys done any trade deadline talk? Because I know I've seen a couple of comments kind of lean.
No, we have not. We have not. Okay. It's been all about Dak
for
his calf and how I want to rub it and make it feel better for him.
Okay.
So massage his calf,
trade
his thigh, massage his thigh a little bit. And look at Marcus; he doesn't know what to say. Like, what the fuck was going on here?
I'm not touching that one.
The show just went backwards.
I'm not touching that one. So a trade deadline. Do you guys think it's more likely we trade for somebody or trade away somebody?
I don't think we're going to trade for anyone. I really don't.
Okay.
I agree with her.
I agree too. I've been saying it.
Me too.
3 weeks.
Everybody wants to get rid of Gallup all of a sudden, and I was all about that in the offseason.
Get me started on that shit.
That was okay. Well, that was my thing in the offseason. In the offseason, that was my thing. I was like, yeah, I'd rather trading now than not be able to pay him next year. And I don't want a comp pick. I want something good in return. That was my thought in the offseason. I'm not of that opinion anymore because Cooper is like battling through so many injuries right now. And everyone's like, well, Wilson's done a good job. I'm like, yes, stepping in for Gallup. But what if Cooper goes down and now you have Gallup and Lamb, you've got Wilson. But if you trade away Gallup, that step down to, Noah Brown, it's just not that good. We don't step down, like we are right now. We're fine. I don't think we should trade a soul. I think we should move on.
Excellent. Matt, all right, Bubba, if you're going to pick baseball over us, that's a shame, dude. Nah, I get it, man. You're a Braves fan.
Your home team is in the World Series.
Yeah, I say he's a Braves fan, so I get it.
Yeah. Home team for Maddie.
Thanks for coming, man. Keep their articles coming, dude.
Great. Ed and Eddie joined the chat. Thank you, guys.
Ed and
happy to see you.
Ed and Eddie, I love that name.
Hey, chat. Listen, a week from Tuesday, Ed and Eddie Silver and Blue will be joining the Rika Moves the Change show. So you guys make sure to keep your eyes open for that link. I'll be posting it. I'm super excited.
I had those guys on my show a couple of weeks ago. Really, really great content. Know their stuff.
Yeah.
Entertaining guys.
That was part of us. Week 2, Keepin with Jones, our second episode. We had him on.
Yes.
But yeah, going back to Marcus' question, Amanda gave a great answer. No, I don't think we'll trade. As far as Gallup goes, I don't get that. I just like Jesus Christ, people. Why are we constantly trying to trade away our good players? Like Jesus, we fucking have a good team, and now you want to trade them. You know, I don't get it. I was in the off season at one time. I was for trading Gallup, because I figured, fuck it, you're gonna lose him anyways. You know, so get something for him. But then, as it got closer, people made too many good points, and I was like, that's right. You know, let's run it back with them. You know, this was the team we were supposed to have last year. Oh well, not the defense, offensive side of the ball. So I want to see what they can do, and we still haven't seen it because we haven't been a full force yet. And I agree with her. If you get rid of Gallup, Wilson's your starter. That's fine. He's a quality number 3.
Yeah.
On most teams, he'd be a good number 3. Maybe he could even pull a number 2 on some teams. Some teams, not a lot of teams.
Yeah.
You know, but that's because he's a 4th. If Gallup is gone, he's a 3rd. If he goes down, then we're going to what we are right now is our 5th and our 6th. So it's a depth thing for me more than anything. It's like, why do you want to get rid of it? Because that hurts your depth. It just doesn't hurt your starters. It hurts your depth.
It's like,
and this offense is just going right now. And Gallup brings something to this offense that none of them guys do. That he's going to run deep routes. He's going to fucking take the top off. And that's what he does. And that's something that Wilson doesn't do. That's something Brown doesn't do. You know, and he's going to add another dimension to this offense. It's going to make us even more deadly. So no, there's no way I'll trade Gallup right now. I know some people saying, well, what about for this player, this defensive tackle? No, I'm just not going to do it. I know fucking offense is greater defense for me. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And if our defense totally sucked, maybe I'd change my mind, but we don't. We got some young players at defense tackle that I think, and we're not even at full fucking fledged on defense either. That's why people's like, we're trying to improve our defense, and we haven't had all of our starters out there yet. Hell, we haven't had all of our backups out there yet. You know, I mean, in the next 3 weeks, we're going to have a full team finally.
Right.
You know, and I'm not trading anybody away right now. I don't see any player out there that's just going to come in on defense like, boom, there it is. We're the number 1 defense in the NFL now. He changes everything. That player ain't out there. You know, them big defense tackles that people want, they're not out there. Now, if you were talking about trading, there's a couple of them you want to trade a 5th or 6th round pick. Yeah, I'd consider that, you know, but I'm not trading away a quality player for anybody.
Yeah.
Not at this time.
And to piggyback on what you said about Cedric Wilson, and Cedric Wilson's a Memphis guy. I love Cedric Wilson. Followed him all the way from his time in high school at White Station, whatever. But Cedric Wilson for this year is averaging 2 catches for 25 yards. Michael Gallup gives you more than that. And I don't want to take away from Wilson's clutch catches. People remember him for the 3rd and 14, the 4th and 5. Great plays. But 2 catches for 20 yards. And we're talking about, and some people are talking about, this guy can replace Gallup. For the season, Cedric Wilson has 13 catches for 140 yards. Gallup can do that in 1 game. That's the dimension, like Charley said. Not only the deep threat, he has the ability to be a number 1 receiver for a week. And when you have a guy that can do that, that completely changes the dynamic of the offense, because you really have to pick your poison, because it could be Gallup, it could be Lamb, it could be Coop. You just don't know.
What happens right now is CeeDee Lamb's going back in the slot, and now you got to deal with fucking CeeDee Lamb in the slot.
Right.
You've been having to deal with them on the outside more than you usually do. But another thing about Gallup is they was going to work him in at the slot more this year too. It was supposed to be a rotation: CD, Lamb, and CD, Cooper, and Gallup. So they were supposed to all rotate and switching up. And then Gallup got hurt, and so there's only 2 of them to do it. So yeah, and like you said, Gallup can move to the slot too. He can play all 3 positions. You know, where Wilson can't. He can, but he's not going to give you what Gallup can at all 3 positions.
Right.
He's just a different player. Gallup's just a better player than Wilson. And that's, again, like you said, it's not a knock on Wilson.
Right.
It's just a compliment to Gallup. Gallup Gallup can just do things that Wilson can't.
I agree completely.
What's up,
So,
Rika? You going to say anything?
Yeah, I was waiting
Better
for you to shut the hell up, Charley.
Better hurt you that you can't fucking run your mouth the whole show, huh? It's like,
Shut up. So sick of you. Hey, Charley.
Yeah, you know you do.
I know it.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, trading Gallup, absolutely not. I would not trade Michael Gallup for anything on defense. I would not trade Michael Gallup for picks. I would, however, trade Michael Gallup if there was like some freaking all-pro center out there that we could get, but that guy doesn't exist. So it doesn't really matter, does it? There's no team that's going to give us their center for Michael Gallup. So that's the only thing I would trade him for, and that scenario isn't going to happen. So trade Michael Gallup, absolutely not. As far as Cedric Wilson goes, and I think that Cedric Wilson's a good player. In Gallup's absence, I was very comfortable with him. But also because of the work that Dalton Schultz is doing, that has helped a lot in that absence of Michael Gallup. I think the fans get drawn to the plays that are sexy. There was a lot of talk about CD being wide receiver 1 over Cooper back in the offseason. And I felt like the thing with Amari Cooper is that the work that he does, he's like the workhorse. He doesn't have those 25, 30-yard catches. He's grinding it out, and those smaller, shorter runs. And what he does is important to the team. And then you've got CeeDee Lamb, who will come in at the end of that for that 28-yard catch that's one-handed in the end zone. And that's the one you remember. That's the one that's highlight reel. So it's sexier and you think he's better, when in actuality, they're very similar and almost equal. And that's the thing that you have to remember with Cedric Wilson, is that what we've gotten out of him so far has been very sexy. So you want to remember it. But he's not going to get you what Gallup can.
Well, in defense of the people,
not yet.
In defense of the people who said that Lamb will become a number 1 by the end of the season, because I was one of them, so I got to defend it. It never was about him becoming a number 1 and because Cooper isn't a number 1.
I meant that he was,
he was just going to become a number 1 because that's who the fuck he is. He's that good, and he's going to have 2 number 1s. Yes. And I mean, and it gives us options at the end of the season to do other stuff with, which we won't talk about because it ends up causing a big off-season conversation,
derailing everything.
Yeah, 20 weeks ahead of time. So I don't want to do that. But yeah,
CeeDee Lamb is definitely a wide receiver 1. My point was that it's not that he's necessarily better by a huge margin than Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper isn't better by a huge margin than CeeDee Lamb.
No,
They're two different kinds of receivers.
Yeah, Cooper's route running is fucking untouchable. And his he does things that Lamb can't do, and Lamb does things that he can't do. Because they're pretty much even on targets. Lamb has 49, Amari Cooper has 43. 33 receptions to 30 receptions, 497 yards to 373, 15 yards per reception to 12.4, 4 TDs to 4 TDs. So we got 2 number 1 wide receivers on our team, and it's fucking great. and I love it. Amanda, you got anything? Amanda.
She just unmuted. So
she probably left. She's probably sick of our crap already.
I'm not sick of your crap.
I'm sick of our crap, and I'm the one causing it.
No, my 3-year-old's running around having a fit. I actually want to talk about on the defensive side of the ball. My concern right now is Jefferson, and I want to know how we're going to contain Jefferson and Dalvin Cook, because I really like Parsons as an edge rusher. I really, really like Parsons as an edge rusher. And
I sure wish Eric was on here right now.
Eric hates it. I like it.
Eric,
I like it.
My old co-host hates it, so that's why I was talking.
Now, do you think there's been a significant drop off in the middle since cutting Jalen?
No.
Jalen hasn't played on the team he's on now.
I know.
He was a fucking healthy and active. No, there's been no fall off without Jalen.
Now, I agree with that, but I want to ask, when moving Parsons back into linebacker, I have noticed some struggling on his part. There are plenty of missed tackles, and he really and that there's sometimes that the rush just gets away from him there, right in the middle when they come down the middle, and that's my concern is how we're going to handle that with Dalvin Cook. When D-Law comes back, I'm hoping that maybe we can work on. I don't know. I want to put Parsons in the middle, but I also want a rushing, and I'm torn on what he should do this week because I don't know who's going to contain Jefferson on the outside while also worrying about Cook on the interior.
I think a lot of Parsons' issues in the middle really came against New England. That's when I think, but to be fair, Osa's a bad mofo too, and he had some issues against New England game too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think our defense up the middle overall was not good against New England. Other than that, I thought he's played well. I thought he played well against Tampa Bay, and then the game before, fucking who it was. Hell, who did we play before New England? My mind's going blank. Giants. He was good in the middle there too. I think that one game was just, I think it highlighted him in the middle.
Yeah.
And he just didn't look that good in the middle. But I think he'll be okay in the middle. I think they should blitz him more in the A and B gap. I think they should move him out to the edge more, not to be edge player, but on passing downs, I would like to see him out there as an edge, not necessarily 4-3, not with his hand in the dirt. Just have him out there as a fucking linebacker, fucking, designated pass rusher.
Yeah. I can dig that.
I trust the coaches on that. But no, I don't. I'm still okay with him in the middle. Where I'm different about edge is I don't want him at a full-time edge, but I would like to see him out there more than they're putting him out there.
And also, Amanda, to that, this offensive line that we're facing this week is not as formidable as New England is. They do not have their shit together.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah, they've got a right guard, a center, and a left guard who combined in the first 5 weeks gave up 39 pressures.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ezra Cleveland.
Yes, Ezra Cleveland has given up a sack, 11 pressures. Garrett Bradbury, their center, 13 pressures and a sack. And then the right guard, Oli Udo.
I'm glad you say his name, yeah.
I believe that's how you say it, is Oli Udo, which is a little fun to say. 15 pressures, no sacks, though. So I think that Osa Odigizua, which is my favorite word to say, is really going to have a great time with those guys.
Yeah, I said the same thing this week, too.
Mm-hmm.
She probably copied you. She probably heard you say it. Just repeated what you said. That's what she does. She copies me all the time.
I do.
I'm just fucking with her.
What do y'all think about this whole Steele Collins situation?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Let's talk about it.
Damn,
I mean,
comes on the show, just blows his shit up.
I mean, I talked some mad shit about Steele in the off season, y'all. I said some really mean things. But, and
you need to go read Rika's blog about she wrote on Steele, because I'm sure you didn't say anything worse than she did.
Oh,
she was hard on him.
We might have been right there about the same thing.
I made fun of his mama. I mean, I came down
hard
I
didn't do that now.
No, I didn't make fun of his mama, but I did come down hard on that kid.
He's really surprised us this year.
Mm-hmm.
I am of the opinion that Williams is the weak link on the line. I know a lot of people don't agree with me. And I look at footage from Lyle in that position. What was that? Was that 2016 that Lyle played there?
Yeah.
What year was it? 2016. And he, y'all remember that block he let out for right in front of Zeke? Y'all remember that? Lyle was moving. He can move for a big boy. And I really think that if put in that position, I think that would put the best five on the line, because I think Williams is the weak point, but I also like McGovern a lot. So my point to this is, what do y'all think? Do you think Lyle is going to take that spot back, or do you think Steele's got it?
Brock, you want to go first? Me and Bluff's going to take a while on this.
I want to go. Yeah, I want to go first. I think that Steele is going to keep that spot. I think the Cowboys are going to move on from Lyle Collins in the off season. He's missed way too many games. He's too much trouble. And I think that Steele has proven that he can be depended upon, that he can grow as a player, that he is coachable, which is important. And putting Steele on the bench right now doesn't help him become the tackle that he can become. We got to keep playing him every single week, keep developing that kid. I think La'el Collins is about to become a swing tackle. I don't see him going in at guard. I agree about Connor Williams. I don't think he's as weak as Biotish. Actually, I don't think he's weak at all. My problem with Williams is that he has developed some very bad habits, and part of it is the way that he's built and the way that he blocks. During that New England game, I mean, I don't know the right language to use. I'm not going to say that the refs were targeting him, but he was drawing their eye. He was responsible for 7 of the 12 penalties that we had, and what was it, like 75 or 80 yards just on Williams. At that point, not because he's a bad player, not because anybody was mad at him, I would have put him on the bench. I would have brought in Connor McGovern just to draw the officials' eyes away from what was going on in that spot. They were centered in on what he was doing and the style that he uses to block, and were making those holding calls. And I would have limited that penalty yardage and brought in McGovern instead. That's what I would have done. Williams, he's not giving up sacks. He's not giving up a ton of pressures. I don't think he's a bad player, but these penalties are going to be a problem, especially with the better teams where our scores are getting closer and moving into the playoffs. We cannot have penalty yards like that. He's got to get it under control, or they're going to have to replace him with McGovern, I think. I'm done.
Bluff, you go, Bubba.
No, you go ahead, Charley. Go ahead.
You're going to say the same thing I did. So
I want to hear you say it. I didn't hear you talk on Tuesday about it, and I went for 10 minutes on Wednesday about it, so I'm interested with what you say.
Collins, I don't know a lot about Collins. Nobody knows a lot about Collins. As far as him at left guard, we're talking about 2015, 2016. We're talking about 5 or 6 years ago when he played there. That's 5 or 6 years ago. That's a long time to go, and people, and this ain't a shot at Amanda because there's some other people who's done it too. Anyways, they brought on film work of 2015, 2016 to try to improve why Collins needs to be back at left guard. And I'm like, that's 5 fucking years ago. Do we know if we put him back there that he's even going to be as good as he was in 2015 and 16? And my question is, how good was he in 2015 and 2016? Was he that good? Was he a good run blocker? He was a road grader. But his pass protection, which is where I keep all these names, where Connor has issues at too. That's where a lot of his holding penalties come from. All right. So I never wanted Collins at right tackle. I thought they should have kept him there at left guard. I argued with another guy for 6 months about how bad of a move that was to ever put him at right tackle. But now I'm not for moving him back to left guard either. My thing is, I'm not ready to give up on Williams. I don't think he's as bad as people make him out to be. He's got some issues with the holding, with some being handsy and being penalties. But like Rika said earlier, his pressures are down. His pressures are out there with Martin and Tyron Smith. His sacks are out there with Martin and Tyron Smith. If you're in the PFF grades, I'm not. His grades are not where Martin Smith's are. Not many people are, but his grade is good. So I'm not ready to give up on him. But if I am going to give up on him, I'm not putting fucking Collins there. I'm putting fucking Mack there.
Yep.
I'm not going to move. I'm not going to move my right tackle all the way back to the left side and play him in a different position. Not only moving to another position, but on a totally opposite side of where he's used to playing. That's hard to do. Yes. I know Collins came out this week and said he feels natural from the left side. Okay, great. He feels natural from the left side. Maybe that's, I don't know. But on the opposite side of that, I don't know what Collins is as a right tackle either. And nobody else does either. Everybody's going off 2019 season where he's a top 5, top 10, whatever you want to rank him as a right tackle. He was good. He was great. 1 year. 2017, 2018, he was not good at right tackle. He was average to above average. He broke out, had a great year. And now, again, we're talking about a guy who has not played since 2019 except for 1 game versus the Bucs. So in last 22 games, he's played 1 game. and we're automatically just going to say, oh, he's a top 5 right tackle still. Really? I mean, do we know this? I mean, I would kind of like to see him go out there and play a few games before I just anoint him a great player like he was in 2019. Plus, he's had hip surgery. That's an issue. Nobody knows how that hip surgery is going to hold up on a football field. He had one game. One. So I disagree with people who's calling top 5 right tackle, and I also disagree with people who want to move him back at left guard. I don't. To me, what I would do, I'm making my swing tackle and I'm making my backup left guard and right guard. He would be on the bench for me. I'll go with the 5 that's on there right now and let Collins come in. You know, he can be the 6th guy come in. You know, if somebody still gets hurt or if something happens, still starts playing bad, if Connor gets worse, but even if Connor gets worse, I'm still not going with fucking Collins. I'm going with Mac. It's like, why do people forget about Mac?
Right.
It's like, I mean, he stepped in last year for fucking Martin, and it played well as a, you know, pretty much a rookie since he never had played before. Then he stepped in against a badass defensive front against Bucks and held up just fine. And for some reason, people just forgot about him. As far as him being a weak link, if somebody's a weak link, it's fucking the center. Badass. He's the weak link. But I'll say this, I'll defend badass too. First of all, he's only started what now? 9-10 games in his career, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So I'm still willing to give him a little bit of leeway too and let him, you know, fucking grow in that position. And the thing about being a weak link when you're playing with Tyron Smith and Zach Martin, you know, somebody's going to be the weak link.
Yeah, you can't have 5 all-pro, linemen, and I get that. Yeah,
and I'm going to tell you this right now: you could put fucking Collins at left guard, and there's a chance he would be the weakest link on that fucking field.
I agree.
Still could be a better right tackle than Collins at left, than Collins in the left guard, and he's not going to be better than fucking Martin or fucking Tyron Smith. And then you got badass between him and badass competing. Who's the worst one? There's always going to be a weak link. You know, it's the weak link a liability. There's a difference between weakest link and liability. If there's liability, then you got to change it. But if he's not a liability, and considering one more thing, Matt Owen has this. I wish he was still here. We're averaging 5.9 yards a carry behind fucking Connor Williams.
Yeah.
5.9. That's where most of our yards we get is behind his ass, right up his ass. That's where we're getting most of our yards at. You know, so I think it's a little bit overreaction to all of a sudden want to yank him. I understand people want their best 5 out there, but I'm just not convinced that putting Collins at left guard is the best 5. We're going off as an assumption of him playing 5 years ago at that position. And I'll say it again. He wasn't no better 5 years ago than fucking Connor is right now. They're about fucking the same. Connor is about the same player that fucking Lyle was 5 years ago at left guard. So we're assuming he's going to go over there and be that same guy or be better. And I'm not convinced of that, you know.
I think that the Cowboys are pretty disappointed in Lyle in general.
Oh, most definitely.
I mean, you really that was some dumb shit, man. That was dumb. Like, you are a professional football player. Are you telling me you don't know where to find some clean pee? And I don't mean that wrong. Okay, that sounds terrible, but let's be legit.
You could have gave me a call.
I have many friends
come
that had
on.
clean pee before.
It's a lot easier to buy clean pee than it is to bribe the guy who's collecting.
Yeah.
The pee.
Like, come on. The dude works for the NFL, man. What are you thinking? And I think that really put the team at what is in jeopardy. And I think that I really like the culture shift where we're actually, I guess you'd say, teaching lessons, I guess would be a good point, by not giving, you know, Lyle his position back. We're teaching him a lesson. You know what? You jeopardized this team. It was your fault that you lost you suspended yourself. The team didn't get you suspended. You did that to yourself, man. So I think Lyle's really going to have to work himself back in. Like, I think he's going to have to prove worth, or we're going to cut him. I don't see, or even maybe, let's see, what are we on? Year 3 of his contract?
He won't be cut.
He'll be traded.
Yeah. What are we? Are we on year 3? Year 3 or 2 of his contract?
He signed an extension in 2019.
Yeah. So
19, 20. We're on year 3.
Year 3.
I thought actually an extension.
So
he has 3 more years left on his extension.
Yeah.
I knew we were.
I believe though we've paid him everything that's guaranteed. I looked at it, but it was a couple weeks ago, so now I don't remember.
Yeah,
I haven't looked at the numbers, but that sounds right.
We restructured him this year too, though, so that adds a little bit on.
That adds a little bit, but not much.
But not much, right?
It's a very favorable trade contract.
Yes.
And actually, it's a very favorable cut contract. But like Mark said, there's no reason to cut the dude because you can get something for him.
Oh yeah, people would love to have him. I mean, he's not bad.
No, he's not.
He just makes terrible decisions, and he's injury. I mean, he's a little bit injury risk. You know,
he's missed more time than Tyron Smith has since 2015. He's missed more. Everybody talked about Tyron Smith. You know, we need to find his replacement, which I agree with because he is getting up there. But
I agree.
But Collins has missed more time than Tyron Smith has.
Yeah,
you know. So
what has Collins played one game in like a year 22. And a half? Yeah,
one
it's
game,
one game.
2019.
2019. And everybody assumes he's still 2019 version of Collins, and I'm not ready to assume that. I'm not saying he's not. I like to see a little bit of film work.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, it's really like with you when you've got Martin out there and Tyron Smith. You know, that's somewhere else that our line runs through. Martin, Zach Martin is a beast. Like he is just intense. So I don't know. I think Lyle's probably gone at the end of this year if Steele continues to play well. And that's like you said, being traded away. But that's it. I don't think anything on that.
Marcus, what do you think about about Collins back to guard?
Everything you said, Charlie, I 100% agree with. And I just want to emphasize this, that hip injury. Hip injuries in careers, those can be things that people can't come back from. And we don't know. Everybody's making an assumption. We're putting him in left guard because we want to get the best 5. We don't know if they saw him in practice and said, you know what? We didn't get a good look at him in the offseason. We only saw him for one game. He's been at practice. He may have lost it. He can't play right tackle anymore. We don't know. They could be putting him at left guard to try to salvage his career. You just don't know. And the other thing I want to add on top of something else Charlie said, people don't realize how important continuity is on an offensive line, especially in the interior, because it's not just block the man in front of you.
Oh, hell no.
The closer you get to the middle of the line, the more cerebral it is, and the more you have to be in tune with the guy to the inside of you.
You see it all the time. They do some kind of little switch, defense lineman, and one offensive lineman is like lost. And there they go, fucking sack on it. Yeah, you got to be in tune with your guy beside you and know exactly what you're doing.
Right. And you don't know. Like Connor's been there with Biotish the entire time he's been playing. Those guys have a system together. Those guys have a familiarity with each other. You can't just throw a guy who hasn't played guard in 4 years at the guard position and just assume he's going to pick it up like that. And he's going to get in tune with that guy next to him. That's how quarterbacks get killed. And if he may take the spot, you don't know, but it's not like that's something that's going to happen next week. He has to show us that he's physically able to play and that he's mentally up to pick up the position. Because one more thing, we talk about him playing guard in 2016. Who was the guard in 2016? An all-pro in Travis Frederick.
The center, you mean?
Yeah. Who was the center?
Yeah.
All pro in Travis Frederick.
And who was the left tackle?
All pro in Tyron Smith. The learning curve can be a little bit less when you got 2 all pros between you. But when you're coming in there with a guy who's not playing the center position up to par and he doesn't have a full season in, you can't just throw anybody next to him. You just have to watch what you do with stuff like that. You can't just throw it in. It's all about chemistry. Yeah, just like Geechee said, joining us in the chat.
Yeah, I said that in 2017 when they moved him to right tackle. My problem was, I'm like, he has problem with pass protection, and he's in between 2 all pros. I said, I don't want him on a fucking island on the right side by himself, because if he can't handle pass protection between 2 all pros, he's going to have a difficult time on the right side by himself. And he did. 2017, 2018, he wasn't great. He wasn't even good. He was average to above average. But Pat's comment said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's how I feel. But this is the difference. I don't have a problem trying to upgrade positions, even if you're good at it, because that's what you should do. Like that offensive unit right now, that offensive line, they're playing well. I mean, look at all the stats, analytics. I mean, we're top 5 in every fucking thing you can think of. So you should, but that doesn't mean don't touch it. But you touch it when there's a definite improvement. Example, Say Zach Martin was out for 5 games and we still did all the shit that we did through the 5 games Zach Martin was out. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, hey, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Bench Zach Martin. Fuck no, you put Zach Martin back in there because there's fucking 7 years of evidence of how badass he is. There's not that with Collins. Collins don't have a lot of evidence. He has 1 year evidence at right tackle, and he has like a half a year of evidence at fucking left guard. That's all he has. There's not a lot of evidence to show me that, hey, he can do this shit. You know, he played 12 games in 2015. He played 3 games in 2016. 3. That's all he played. So he played, 15 games, like a little less than a season worth of games at left guard. And again,
5 years ago almost.
Yeah, he wasn't great. I mean, he was good. He was good at run blocking. He was, questionable sometimes at pass protection. So that's not a definite upgrade to me. I don't think you just slide him in there like, yep, he's better than Connor Williams. Slide him in there. No, there's no proof of that. Same as right tackle. There's no proof that he's still a top 5 right tackle because he only did it for fucking 1 year. I've seen 2 average years from him. I'm hoping that year was a real year in 2019, but you don't know. How many times have we seen players have a couple mad years and all of a sudden they break out and everybody's like, hell yeah, that's what we wanted. And then you never see that again. They never get back to that level again. It happens all the time. And I'm not predicting that's going to happen with Collins. I'm just saying everybody else is predicting he's a top 5 right tackle still. I can't do that. I got to see it first. I got to see more than 1 game in the last 22 to say, yep, he's back. He's 2019 Collins. But yeah, right now I think they're doing what they should do is keep him on the bench and, keep the continuity going and see where it takes you. And, you got him there to bail you out if you need him. Some of it is the Cowboys tell him, hey, fuck nut, we ain't going to take your shit in somewhat of a kind of a punishment of them. But, some of it I think is like Mark said. I mean, they might be seeing shit in practice that we're not seeing.
Right.
Maybe they say something like, hey, you know what? I don't think he's that much better than Still. I don't know if he can do better than Still. I don't know if he can do better than Connor Williams. So let's give him some fucking reps at both positions and let's see who wins this out and see what we can do. But right now we're going to stick with what we got. So
I mean, he can't play center. He's not beating Zach Martin. He's not beating Tyron Smith. What other positions do you have to try him at? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, unless he can play center.
Right, exactly. He learns how to snap. We may have a different discussion to talk about.
But there is a huge difference, Pat. It's not even fucking close. That's what I'm saying. If Martin was out for last 22 games, I wouldn't say anything about Martin. I'm like, hell yeah, you put him back in. You don't question that shit because you got fucking 5 years of all pro fucking play that you can back yourself on. This you don't. This you don't know what he's going to be. Go ahead, Amanda. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. You were talking about Biotish earlier, and I just wanted to ask you a question. Now, we heard that in practice, McGovern was getting some reps at center. Do you think that's something, if he continues to struggle, we should we should look at actually doing?
Yes. 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 That's Bob. I don't know what else to say that. But I'm a big McGovern fan, and
I like him too.
I've never understood why he's just now this year getting snaps at center. I mean, I never understood that. When we drafted him, I'm like, cool, he could be a backup. Well, actually, Fred had already retired, so I'm like, all right, there's our replacement. But then fucking he got hurt, so he didn't play his rookie year. Then they moved him to guard, which was fine, whatever. And then this year, it's like, why are y'all just now giving him snaps at center in 2021? I thought he should have been getting snaps at center a long time ago. But yes, no, I would have no problem with that. I wouldn't do it just to do it. But if he can snap better in his blocking, and at guard, he's just as good as a blocker. He's better than Biotis is at blocking.
For sure.
If he can get this ball back there, but like me and Marcus talked about this before, there's a big difference between blocking and having to snap, then block. Yeah, that's it's Marcus has played center. My son played center. Yeah. It can get in your fucking head when you get somebody lined up right above you, and you got to get that ball back there, but you got to get your hands on them quick. It can sometimes make your fucking snaps not look so fucking good. But if he can handle it, most definitely.
Yeah, it's not an easy position to play at all. No. Center is not an easy position. And I think I try to give a little bit of leniency to Biotish because I look at what we had before that, and there was no one like Travis Frederick, and that's. I mean, you just can't beat him. So I tried, and that's where you were also giving leniency, like you were talking about on that line. You look at Tyron and you look at Zach. You can't have an amazing thing, but Biotish came in with big shoes to fill, and I'm not confident in him right now. And I don't mean that meanly. I'm just not confident with the way he actually snaps the ball. I see us having a lot of issues, and I hope that it doesn't continue on because that's detrimental.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes. But
Yeah, I don't think nobody on this show is overconfident with him. I think we all have kind of a like holy shit moments during fucking every game. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Rolling the ball back there, snapping it over his head. Yeah, we all have issues with badass. I mean, you know, I'm a little bit more lenient on him because he is young and he hasn't started that many games. But there's a limit, and my limit is if Connor McGovern is doing it in practice and they can see he's getting the ball back there and he can block and he can do it and you can replace him and he's going to be an upgrade, then do it. Then I have no fun. I want McGovern in there. I think he deserves to be in there.
I think next week would be a good time to actually do a lot of trying things out. And I know that's terrible, but because every game is an NFL game, but look at who we play next week. And that's where I kind of look at it was maybe we could try some things out that we want to see live, during a game that you can't really simulate well at practice. I think that's what we should do next week is really see, judge different players, see who needs to go. And I hope the coaches do that.
I think you will. If we get leads, I think you'll see that. I think if we get leads, we might not see it if it's a tough game back and forth, but if we get some comfortable leads, I think you'll see some O-line changes and just seeing how that fucking turns out.
Amanda, you really have no faith in Denver's defense, huh?
No.
Okay.
And it's not even that. Okay. I'm just going to be, I don't really worry about their offense. So even if our offensive line is struggling, I don't have faith in their offense to really be this high powered machine that we can't overcome. And that's where I'm at with that. I think that would be the game that you really can play around with of all the games that we play this year. That's the game that we can play with.
Yeah, I think we'll kick the shit out of it, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think we're going to, yeah.
I'm with Amanda. I'm okay next week against Denver, rolling the dice a little bit and trying some different personnel groupings and just experimenting in a live game situation. If it went really, really badly for us and we took a loss, I think we're far enough ahead in the division that we still make the playoffs. So I'm not going to sweat it a whole lot. I'm not going to be down on the team. I'm not going to be mad. I would rather find some gold right now and know about it moving into December where we have a lot of divisional games and then into January where things get very important. This is a time to figure that out. So I wouldn't be upset, especially against Denver I think we're going to win that game. And I wouldn't mind playing around with it a little bit and doing some experimenting.
All right, guys, we're at 1 hour, 30 minutes, and we have not had a single discussion about the defensive side of the ball. So everybody who's watching.
Amanda, you still okay to stay?
Yeah, I'll stay for a little while longer.
Okay,
of course.
Right. So before we move on, everybody, thank you for watching. Appreciate your support. If you haven't done so already, give us a like. Also, make sure you share this. Make sure you subscribe. A lot of talented people. A lot of great content, Cowboys content. Amanda has a great Cowboys page as well. Get a lot of good information, a lot of entertainment. So we got a lot of great people on this panel. So if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you like, make sure you share. I had this question. I've been holding it for a while. We talked about the trade deadline coming up on Tuesday, and we all kind of agree there won't be any people traded to the team, but we have a lot of depth. Do you think, like when I look at the bottom of this roster and I look at a D-Law coming back, Gallimore coming back, guys like that, and I'm looking at a guy like a Dorrance Armstrong, you guys think there's a chance we could possibly trade a guy like that away, or do you think a guy like that might get cut at some point? Because we're pretty close to 10 on the D line right now. We got like 3 or 4 guys coming back.
Who you talking about getting cut? Like Armstrong? I don't think you cut Armstrong.
Well, trade deadline's coming up. Could you see a guy like Armstrong, Bradley, or a guy like that getting traded for whatever you can get for him?
Maybe a Nye. I can't see Armstrong, man. He does special teams, and I think he's a good defensive end. I love him. Yeah, I know you love him. But yeah, I wouldn't be in for that Damn, excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. But nah, yeah, I can see it. I don't know if we will, but you are right. It's getting to the point where when these guys start coming back, somebody's going to have to fucking go.
Got to.
I mean, I don't know if it'd be a defensive line, but somebody's leaving. I mean, I don't know where in the hell you're going to find them at. Yeah, I don't know. I still say Tristan Hill, unless he comes out and just fucking shows out, I think he's in danger of not being with the team. Not just traded, just cut, just let go. I don't know. I mean, I know you're. I mean, who's safe? Gallup safe.
I love me some Gallimore.
Yeah. Shit. My Armstrong safe. Fucking Urban safe. Walking safe. Fucking Bo. I don't know why Bo is safe, but I think he is safe.
Here's
go ahead, Amanda, go ahead.
Okay. What if someone offered us a future first and say a late third for D-Law? Where our defense is now, would you do it?
Me, yes.
We couldn't do it this year, though. It would. We don't have the cap space to take.
We don't have the cap. Yeah.
Oh, in the off season, I'll take anything.
I think D-Law is actually probably in trouble. I think he's going to be at the end of the season. I think we're going to look at it, and I think that we're going to look at his contract, and I think we're going to look at the youngins, and I think that the culture shift might be moving him out. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, and I do. I love DeMarcus Lawrence, but we've paid a lot of money, and he's a great player. But I just think that if we could get something for him in the off season, and someone can take that contract out of our pocket, I'd say do it in a heartbeat. Because you got Gallimore, you've got a lot of really good players. We've got great depth, and I don't see D-Law sticking around too much longer. Said the same thing about Jalen Smith, and no one wanted to hear it, but. I really do think he's going to be a potential one of those shocking things we do, just like with Jalen just randomly being cut. Like it was everybody was like, what just happened? I think that's going to be a D-Law situation too.
Now, Charley and I had this discussion a couple of weeks ago. Charley, didn't you say we saved like $19 million whether we cut or trade him?
Yeah, right now with D-Law, we can trade him right now and we can do it.
We can trade him now?
Yeah. It's not going to, we'll release. I mean, we've already paid him some of his $17 million base, so we lose that. But yeah, no, we save.
I thought we would take a cap dump if we did it this year.
No, we can do it right now. Like before the season started.
Yeah.
Before the season started, we would have saved $17 million and had $8 million of dead money.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, we could still do it. But we won't because we've done paid him 6 games worth of money.
Right.
Yeah, we paid him a lot.
But next year, yeah, we can dump him next year. And we saved $19 million and $8 million of dead money.
And that's cut or trade, right?
What's that?
That's outright cut or trade, right?
Outright cut or trade.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's even more if it's post June 1, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going on. It has to be post June 1.
Gotcha.
If it's pre June 1, it would kill us this year. But we're past June 1. But next year we'll still save $8 million, but we'll have $19 million of dead money.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which is still, I'm you know how I am about dead money. I don't give a shit about dead money as long as the cap savings are there. But yeah, no, we can. But yeah, it'll be the end of the year. But no, I mean, somebody offers the first and the third, right? But I don't think no team would with him coming off injury and shit. I don't think we'd get that right now. But yeah, I'd take it.
I was trying to think of a team that would actually need him because I saw this proposed in the group was the reason I brought it up. And I can't think of a team that would really even have the cap space to take that on. Plus, that's in a good enough position. They don't need a first and a third in the future. I mean, I can't think of any team that's in that situation. There's
maybe one I can think of off the top of my head, and that would be the Colts. I know they have the cap space. I don't know about the quarterback. They got the quarterback. Well, they got the quarterback if they like him, but and they have the DC who basically was on the staff that drafted him. That's the only team.
Yeah, they do have him. I wouldn't say that. Every team needs him. Yeah, I wouldn't say that. And as far as bookends finally come on, man. Yeah, I mean, I'll go back to what I've always said about D-Law. He's an elite when it comes to stopping the run, and he's pretty good at pass rush. And we're paying him $27, $28 million of cap hit to rush the passer, not to stop the run.
People
I
leave
know
that
people
part
don't
out.
want to hear that, but that's you don't get paid. No fucking defensive end or no edge rusher ever got paid $20 million plus because they like that fucking dude can stop the run. We got to pay him $20 million. None of them ever
Yes,
said that.
some of the contracts that we get ourselves into is like the laughing stock of the NFL. We do some crazy shit, and like I wouldn't have paid. Like I love Zeke to death, but that was just like last year when he held out. I was like, Dak should have been paid before Zeke. We had that 5th-year option on Zeke, and I think that that's neither here nor there. I think we put ourselves in situations that are abysmal for our pocket, and it really hurts us in the long run. I mean, look at the Eagles. They're literally paying for Wentz to play on the Colts right now.
Yeah.
They are still they're paying for the Colts to play. That it's just crazy to me. So I hope that I see us making smart decisions. Like Dak's contract was really good. They did really well with Dak's contract. A lot of people don't like it, but they did a great job with Dak's contract. So I just hope we keep doing that and start making better decisions. That's how you build a championship team, is to be smart with your pocketbook. But you bring in people through the draft that are really strong. Like you've got Parsons. Now you've got him for 4 years, and you've got Osa, and he's amazing. We've gotten really good. And then you got Neville Gallimore. We've got several key players. And I actually, what do y'all think about Gregory? Because he's on his contract year, and he is playing really well.
Yeah.
And do you think we retain him, or do you think we're going to lose him?
Yes.
Gregory's Rika's boyfriend.
Oh, I love Randy Gregory. Yeah, I think that we retain Randy Gregory. I think we keep him. I think that Randy Gregory is going. They're going to find the money for him, and he's going to take something that is team friendly. I think that Randy Gregory was really loved by this organization through some hard times in his life. He remained a Cowboy the entire time that he was on suspension. We never, we were always ready to bring him back in to get him back to work. I think there's a good relationship there with the Joneses. And sometimes those relationships with the Joneses get us into trouble, such as with the Jalen Smith situation. However, I think this one with Randy Gregory is a really good one, and I think that he'll stay here. He's going to be our guy. Love me some 94.
I personally, Amanda, don't think the price is going to be as high as most people think it will be. I hear some people thinking he may get top defensive end money. I'd be shocked if it's slightly above double digits. That's just me. He's looking great now, but Randy Gregory's not a household name outside of Dallas. And I think a lot of our fans kind of lose that. We've seen him have some good games. He still hasn't put together a double-digit sack season yet. I mean, he's looking good right now, but you don't know. Even if he goes at the rate he's going now, he's at 12 sacks? That's a good contract, but that's not a contract where I would say we couldn't match any offer that came outside of the building. And like Rika said, I feel like there would be a bit of a hometown discount kind of built in there, not only from him and what we've done for him, but no other team can really attest to him staying on the straight and narrow like we can. Because if you take him to any other GM and they look at his history and he's 29 years old, they're going to be like, why am I paying this headache $15 million who's played one full season and has a long history of personal problems, not off the field problems, personal problems stemming back to college.
Exactly. The other thing that I think is important to remember about Gregory is that usually when these guys get paid that first go round, they've been in the NFL for about 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
They were in college before that. They were superstars. They were treated with a certain amount of something. 18 months ago, Randy Gregory was making $15 an hour at the Amazon distribution center. He was living in a car for a while when his wife threw him out. He has very recently been through some hard times. And when you have recently felt that struggle, then that difference between 15 million and 20 million, you're like, yeah, I'll take the 15. I'll take whatever you got. Give me the money. Show it to me. Write me a check right now. Today, I'm ready to go. Let's play some ball. You're not as extra when you have recently felt that struggle. A lot of these guys, when they go into that, and this is Randy Gregory's first contract. A lot of these guys, when they go into that first contract, they have never been where Randy Gregory's been. They've never been where the four of us have been. They have never had, since they were kids before they went to college, they never had to deal with that struggle. Not
Shit.
in real
Broke
adult,
fucking dick
not
before.
not in real adult life. They may have grown up poor kids, but they didn't really deal with it as an adult. So Randy Gregory has the way that he values money is going to be different than the way other players value money.
That's a great point too, right?
It is. So you believe they're going to give him that he's going to take a team-friendly deal for the team that stuck by him. That's what I can see that.
Absolutely.
Most teams would have cut him.
I don't know how friendly it would be, but yeah, I think it'd be a team-friendly deal.
I think they're going to give him something fair. They're not going to rip him off. Absolutely not. But he's not going to, he's not going to threaten to walk. And he's not going to squabble over a couple million.
I will put it this way. If free agency opened up and Dallas put a deal in front of him that was $10 million, I don't think he would shop around. I'll put it like that. I don't think it'll be like, you know what? Let me do the whole wine and dine around the country to see who's going to be the highest bidder. I just really feel like if Dallas gives him a solid offer based on what he's done, he would just take it and not even worry about doing any visits. Yeah. Now, if they offer $6 million, like they did, what's the running back's name? DeMarco Murray. If they give him a DeMarco Murray deal, then we might have some problems.
That would be disrespectful at this point. Exactly. But they were disrespectful to Murray too. So
yeah, if they did that, I would say okay, we might have.
It should have been offered.
Well, that's true too, Charlie. But again,
he only got $8 million. It's not like he got that much more. Fucking Philadelphia only gave him $8 million.
I think we offered him $4 though.
We came up to $6 though.
I'm saying like the first offer.
Yeah, that was to me, $6 million was like, holy shit, let's fucking settle down there, Cowboys. Let's don't be paying running backs that fucking much money. You got to remember that was fucking 6-7 years ago. So there was back then that was a lot of money for a running back. They wasn't making 14-15 million like they are now. Top guys was making 10, around 10 million. We offered them 6.
The progression of contracts in the NFL is wild when you think about what players used to make. Just like you said, Murray's a good example. Just 6-7 years ago, compared to what Zeke locked in, it's just wild when you think about the amount of money that these people make. And I get that there's very few people that can do it, but just how much money it's jumped every year significantly. Someone gets a new hire contract that is just the big dog, big shit contract of the NFL, like Patrick Mahomes. Let's talk about his, if we want to look at contracts, he took a lot of money and now this year they don't really have a lot of money to play with. Yeah. They got so I hope that Gregory stays. I think he's a really good player for us. And we got to save money. We got to be smart because we got a lot of players that are going to come up that need money that we're going to want to retain. So we've got to be smart the next few years or we're going to get ourselves in a lot of trouble. And we're not going to be able to put a team around Dak and Zeke because we have so many top heavy contracts. So we just got to be smart with our money.
Yeah, I just say if it's not a disrespectful deal, he takes it without question based on exactly what Rika said.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bluff.
I was about to change the topic. Well, go ahead, Charlie.
No, go ahead. No, go. Go.
Oh, so it looks like we got a new toy to play with. We've been waiting for him for a while. Boss Man Fat has come off of the IR, and I believe he's been activated. So he should be, if they don't name him inactive, which I don't think they will, he should be available tomorrow. So just 2 questions going around the board. How much do you think he plays? And do you think he plays more inside or outside?
Go ahead, Amanda.
I'm going to say that if I know he's been activated, but if we don't name him inactive,
right,
I'm going to say 15, 20 snaps. I don't think we're going to overwork it. I think we're going to see how he fits in. I don't think it would be smart to throw him out there, too many snaps because we don't want him to get hurt again. And we just don't know what there is, but we do have to give him some, but I'd go 10, 15 snaps. And I think I'd like to see him on the inside more than I would on the outside. I know a lot of people don't like Brown, but I do. I think he's improved greatly every game. So I think that's something we just need to kind of stick with for now and hope for the best. And I think we play him on the inside.
Rika,
what you got?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely see Kelvin Joseph with some special team snaps.
Yeah, like
and then a very low number of snaps on the inside. Minnesota has some very good receivers. I would say if there's been any problem with Brown this last week, if he's having a rough game, if he's regressing and just getting beat every play like we saw him in Tampa Bay, which was a hard game for him. I mean, Antonio Brown's a hard guy to cover. So, but if Brown is struggling, then I wouldn't mind them rolling the dice and giving Bossman a few more snaps, just because if you know that Brown is going to get beat, maybe Bossman Fat has some beginner's luck and comes out there and, I would, I mean, why not? If you're going to get beat anyway, let's throw the new kid out there and see what he can do. I wouldn't mind that very much if Anthony Brown is having a bad game, because they do have some very good receivers in Minnesota. But yeah, I agree. On the inside, let's snap count. Let's see what he can do on special teams.
I mean, I'm in agreement with both you guys, and Amanda, I've been saying 10 to 15 snaps also. I think people assume Thielen's going to play in the slot a lot. Minnesota's been playing Thielen out wide quite a bit. So just looking at that team, it may be the best matchup for him to get on the inside. And if they bring Thielen inside, they're going to probably run a lot of bracket coverage anyway. So if you line him up in front of Thielen in the slot, he's going to have a lot of help. But yeah, get him on special teams just to get him running and throw him 5, 10, 15 snaps tops on the defense.
Yeah, I think he'll play a lot of special teams. I don't know about a lot, but he'll play special teams. And yeah, I agree. 10 and 15 snaps, maybe less. They're not just going to throw him out there.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do.
The lunatic jumping in at the end. Appreciate you joining.
The lunatic.
Hey, there he is.
Great to see you, my guy. Hey, listen, guys, I've been talking with the lunatic this week. Make sure you tune in next week to this channel. We're gonna have some giveaway details for some really cool stuff, so you're gonna want to get in on that.
Tenfold. But yeah, right. Getting back on Boss. Yeah, 10 to 15 snaps. A lot of special teams. Everybody's fucking hero. The Anthony Brown's replacement.
Yep.
That's what everybody tells me. So we'll see how this fucking works out.
Was Tristan Hill activated, or was he still on the list?
I haven't seen anything. Oh, I don't know. I know he was taken off. I know he's in his 3-week window to come back.
Right.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
They've started the clock, but I don't know.
I don't think they've activated. I think so far all we've seen is Bossman activated.
Bossman and Gallup.
Did they activate Gallup? I didn't see that.
They did activate Gallup.
Yeah, they activated Gallup.
Ooh, I need to go check my fantasy teams. I've had him.
What'd you say, Buff?
Didn't they activate McKeon too?
Yes, I think they activated him too. Yeah.
He'll probably did they bring Sprinkle up, or Sprinkle on the roster still?
I don't know. I know they brought my boy up, Hamilton up.
Of course.
Yes. So we had Urban go to IR, Michael Gallup.
But
all right, hour 52 minutes, guys. Let's go real quick. On the defensive side of the ball, who are you outside of the obvious? Who are you looking for to really stand out on defense this week? And you can't say Diggs.
Okay, I want to see LVE have a really good game, and I know a lot of people dog LVE, but I really want to see LVE have a good game because I think he's meant for one, and I really want to give him. I want to have a reason to give him a small, a measly stick around contract because I think his injuries are going to keep him from getting signed to a lot of places, and I want to see LVE have a big game. And I know it's silly, but I like LVE. He's got a great personality and he's a cool dude. So that's who I want to see have a big game this week. We ain't seen it yet. And I mean, we haven't seen it really since 2016 if we want to get legitimate on it. So I want to see LVE have me a big game.
Okay. That's a good one.
Go ahead, Rika.
What's up, Charley? Sick of you. Yeah, this week for me, it's got to be Osa. Osa's going to have a big game on Sunday Night Football that is going to make him a household name. Osa, that the weak part of that Minnesota line, and Osa is going to be all over Cousins, and it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I see we got Pat Campbell saying Parsons, the lunatic talking about Randy Gregory. I like this matchup. People are saying rookie left tackle. I love Darrisaw coming out of college.
I did too.
That kid has amazing feet. He could have been the best. He could have been the first left tackle taken, in my opinion. I wouldn't have been upset about it, but I really like the other two tackles also. I like Curse in the revenge game. I really think Curse is going to make a couple of plays that stand out this week. I'm not looking for him to be like a world beater, but has he got an interception yet? I know he had one called. Didn't he have one called back on a pass interference?
Yeah, he hasn't got one yet. I'll say that. Somebody can fact check me on that, but I don't remember him having one.
Wait, I remember he got one against the Chargers and they called pass interference.
Got called back, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked to see him get a sack and possibly force a turnover.
I'd like to see that myself.
Because I feel like with this team, the way they run their offense, I think the blitz has to come more outside than inside. So I can see him being the guy that blitzes on the outside, and I can see him causing a turnover somewhere.
I was going to say Osa, but fucking Bluff taught me in a curse. I kind of forgot about him. Not that I forgot about Curse, because I love him.
Yeah,
I forgot about the revenge game part. So yeah, I'll go with Curse, but I'm with Rika too. I fucking think Osa.
Ezra Cleveland is garbage.
Yeah. So,
yes, Ezra Cleveland is garbage.
But I'll go with Curse too. I'll lean that way. But both of them should. And I'm with Amanda too. I hope. I'm not anti-LVE. His injuries just made me give up on him. But if he can stay healthy, I agree with her. I think he's solid linebacker.
Yeah.
That I think we can get for cheap. I don't think anybody's going to be falling over themselves trying to sign him for big money. So I wouldn't mind seeing it in the year of just giving him a little fair deal that he'll accept and bring him back. I mean, like I said, he's solid. He's not 2018 version, but he's not fucking 2019 or 2020 version either. Mm-hmm. So as long as you don't go back down there, I'm okay with him.
Let me ask this question, because I have a problem with this one, and I brought it up earlier this week. I don't know how to gauge LVE's value.
I don't either.
Of contract or possible trade capital. I just don't know where to go with them.
I say a fair deal, and I don't know what the fuck the fair deal is.
Okay.
Don't ask me for the price, because I don't know. They would have to offer it to him, and then I would like, okay, that's too much, or all right, that's good. Or hell, that's a great contract. Yeah, you're right. I don't know, because there's not a lot of film on him from him being hurt. And when he did play when he was hurt, he didn't look great. You have that great 2018 season. Yep. In 2019 and 20, he was hurt. And when he did play, he was meh. And this year, he's been good. I mean, he's been solid.
Yeah.
Nothing over the top special.
Right.
Some of the little goof plays I've seen in the past, guessing wrong, but nothing bad. Yeah, I think he's been solid. I think he's been a solid linebacker this year, and he's good depth. I mean, and starter, but I'm just saying, he's good to have on your team. Just depends on the price.
Yeah,
and you have to tell me the price, because I don't know his value either.
Yeah, I couldn't put a price on him either.
Yeah,
but I have to preface it also by, like, Sean Lee's probably my all-time favorite player. And when LVE first came in the league, that's who he reminded me an awful lot of. The 2018 season, not 2016, sorry. But 2018, and that's who he reminded me a lot of. And then the injuries started coming. I was like, wow, he really does remind me a lot of Sean Lee.
I was about to say, you like hurt players, don't you?
And hey, the Cowboys always, keep that, I guess, what would you call it? That little injury-ridden player on their. They always have one of those on the roster. Yeah. LVE might be the next one, but I think that if he stays healthy this year, I do think we sign him to a minimal contract. But I don't think I could put a price on it, because, like you said, Charlie, I mean, show me the numbers and I'll tell you if I think it's good or if I think we overpaid.
I really don't know.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Let me just I'm trying to pull up a contract and a guy who
Stephen White said $4 million.
That's kind of number I was gonna start.
That sounds fair. That sounds fair to me.
4 to 5 millions.
Yeah,
that sounds fair. Yeah, I agree.
And I don't think a lot of teams be falling over themselves to sign him too much more.
So you would sign him 1 year, $4 million?
Yeah, give me the rest of the season. Make sure he doesn't, break something. But yeah, if he continues on this track, just good, solid player. Yeah, I would consider it.
Would you do only 1 year, or say a 2-3 year? I mean, just one at a time, or would you go 2 to 3 years? I think injuries kind of make it where you have to go a year at a time at that point, because a neck injury like he had it's not something that is just automatically fixed. So
I would set his contract up like they did T.O. It was a 3-year deal or 4-year deal, but it's 1 year at a time.
Get out in one.
I like pay him $4 million, and then that next year, if he breaks something or you don't want it, boom, you cut him. No harm, no foul. You don't lose nothing. That's how I'll do it. I'll do it. I'd give him a 3 or 4 year deal, but I would set it up to a 1 year. You can get out of it after each year.
I like that. I'd do that too.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Would the number be $4 million a year?
Yeah, $4 million. Yeah. I'd have to look at the end of the year and see, but right now I don't think that's be a horrible thing. We gave fucking Jalen more than that, so
that's true.
And we gave him an injury clause so that we couldn't trade him if he got hurt. That's ultimately what led to Jalen being cut, is because he refused to cut that out of his contract. That's what the rumor mill said, was that they didn't cut.
It wasn't rumor. That's exactly
was it? Okay. Well, I don't know who. All I know is that's what I know. They asked him, "Hey, will you take this out?" And he said no. And it's like, okay, bye. Yeah. Have a good day. So
yeah, because they didn't want at the end of the year him come up with the injury, and then boom, that's what happened to him last year. That's why his contract was guaranteed. Everybody thought it was guaranteed March 22nd, but it actually was guaranteed in January. I mean, he had surgery.
He went in for surgery, right?
The day he went in for surgery, boom, that fucking contract was guaranteed. And it was a wrist surgery. And like I said in that one show, players in the NFL can always find something to have surgery on. I mean, they always got some cartilage they need cleaned up. They always have something. Some guys put off surgery for 3, 4, 5 years before they finally have it. So if you have guaranteed money, like, let me just fucking put this off until the end of the year so I make sure I get my guaranteed money next year. But yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Stephen White mentioned, and DJ Dog mentioned it earlier, Donovan Wilson in the game last year against Minnesota, and that hit, that smack, that hit, I can still hear that in my head.
To Dalvin Cook, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was beautiful.
It was.
That was beautiful.
Is he active yet, or is he still on IR?
No, he played last week.
Yeah, Did he play last week?
Yeah.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he played last week. He didn't play. I mean, you didn't hear his name much because.
Well, the issue, Diggs outshined so many people. It's hard to hear anybody else's name with the way that Diggs plays.
But he's also playing behind Curse at safety, and Curse is just balling right now.
Yeah, he's been so good. People doubted that too when we brought him in, but I'm glad we did.
Well, Bluff didn't doubt it. Bluff got me sold on him.
I was excited when they signed him.
Yeah, Bluff talked, man, and Maddo and that show y'all did together, and both of y'all was talking about him. So I think let me go look this dude up and see exactly what they're talking about. Make sure they know what they're talking about.
When we look at the defense this year, it all hail Dan Quinn, man. Like, he has really lit a fire under this, and everybody was a lot of people were doubtful on Dan Quinn too, because of how he did as a head coach. And I'm like, yeah, but being a head coach and then a DC are very different, opposite, things. You can be a hell of a DC and then come in as a head coach and suck major ass, and that's exactly what happened with Dan Quinn. So, I mean, in my opinion, he wasn't a very stout. He wasn't a stout head coach, and that's why we got him. And I'm glad we did. I think he's really turned this defense around, and I think it's something to look forward to in the next few years, as long as we can keep him around as well. I think the defense will continue to grow.
Yeah, I like him. I like the hire, but I will admit this: he changed. Like, he did a 180, but he does not run anything close to the defense he ran in Atlanta or Seattle. This is not even. It's not even. You can watch both films of Seattle and Atlanta, and then compare it to what we run now, and it's not the same fucking defense. So I give him credit for coming in and saying, "Hey, what I've been doing hasn't been working. Let me change this shit up and go to a new." He went to a whole new scheme. Like, I've never seen a defensive coordinator change overnight like this, like that quick. Not a cover 3 guy, and then went to Atlanta and ran some cover 3, but mixed in some cover 2, and then came here and said, "Fuck it, we're playing man defense, and we're going to be aggressive." I'm like, holy shit, the hell have you done? But I love it. I loved every minute of it.
I like the way he gets out on the field with a helmet during practice. That just, I love it. He's hands-on. Yeah, it builds them up. It makes them fired up. When you got a coach that that actually gives a shit, and you can tell, it fires them up.
Yeah, there's a lot of difference between a head coach and a defensive coordinator. That's why I never judged when the head coach gets fired and you bring him in as OCDC. I'm like, there's a big North Turner was a mastermind offense coordinator, but he wasn't worth a shit as a head coach.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it happens sometimes. Some people just aren't built to be leaders like that, and some people are just they're built to be leaders like that. Some people are just built to lead a position group. You know, some people are led to lead a whole side of the ball. You know, some people either born to lead the whole team, and it's not made out for everybody. I'm not saying Dan Quinn's going to be a bad coach if he ever gets another head coaching job. It's just his first stint. Fuck, it wasn't that bad. He took his team to a Super Bowl one year, so it wasn't like he was a total clusterfuck as a head coach. But he just had a really good team that year, had a really good offensive coordinator in Kyle Shanahan, which has also shown me that he might not be a great head coach either. He might need to go back to just running the offense instead of running the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no shame in that. Hey,
there's no
sometimes,
shame in that.
Yeah, we got to learn sometimes that we're not cut out for one thing, but we might be cut out for the other. It's just the way it works.
I'm like that. I've been on many jobs that fucking was asked to move up, or did I want to move up? I'm like, fuck no, dude. I don't want to be up in there doing that shit. I want to be right here. I just want to be a jag. Y'all tell me what to do.
Right.
I don't want to have to take all y'all's bullshit from the people above y'all. Because hell, when you're like that, you're the middleman. When you're the boss, you got your boss is talking shit to you, and you got to talk shit to the fucking other employees. So yeah, no, some people ain't made out to be that way, and I'm not. I much rather just be an employee than the boss, or own my own business. That I can do, because then, only thing I can cuss at is myself. Tell myself to go fuck off.
All right, guys. I noticed the views are starting to slowly drop a little bit. How much longer you want to go?
We can go ahead and do predictions. Amanda can stay real quick and do predictions with us.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to.
Or we gonna do two predictions?
This question real quick.
Oh no, go ahead.
Baju, I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm assuming it's Baju. Baju Castle asked the question about any word on signing Von Miller. Von Miller's due $7 million on his contract for the rest of the year. That pretty much answers that question.
Yeah, we aren't bringing. No, we can't afford that. We ain't got that kind of money.
Right, and if you bring them in, what do you do with them 3 weeks from now when D-Lock comes back?
Yeah,
somebody has to go on the bench. Either your best pass rusher or your two highest paid defensive ends.
That's like a Melvin Ingram. A lot of people bring him in. And my question is this. First of all, he's what, 31, 32?
Yep.
And he ain't who he used to be. And I think people see a name or hear a name and they're like, holy shit, I remember back in 2013. Yeah, fucker, 7 years ago, dude. But my question, people want to bring him in, who goes? I mean, what is he going to do? You're going to bring him in to be what you're at best your third coming off the bench as your third defensive end. Yeah. And I'm not so sure he would even be third. I think Armstrong would still be third. You got Basham, so you're going to trade for a guy and you don't even, where is he going to play? When is he going to get on the field and play? So I don't think he's that much better than any of our guys that we have coming off the bench now. So
I just don't even
get a draft pick for him.
I don't even think we're going to bring anyone in. I know a lot of people get their hopes up. Yeah. I think this unless something terrible happens to the quarterback. I mean, that's the only way I see us bringing anyone in. Just, that I don't see us doing it. I don't see a point to do it at this point. We've got plenty of players that we can activate. We've got depth. There's just really no point to bring anyone in at this point.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I just wanted to put it out there because I know there's been a lot of talk, and you brought the other name up too, Charley, Melvin Ingram, talking about bringing those two guys in. Just names we remember from 5 years ago. And
Vaughn ain't who he used to be either, but he's better than Ingram. I mean, but I'm not. He's not going to get that kind of money. And yeah,
Vaughn's out now. He might not play next week.
Yep, you're right. See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. I think people look at 30-plus-year-old players and they just remember their name and just want to bring them in. It's like that's not always a positive, dude.
It's sentimental.
Yeah,
it's sentimental. They hear a name and they're like, "Oh wow!" It's just the memory recollection on that name. That's what I think it is. A lot of times, it's just like everyone's obsession with Earl Thomas. Everybody wanted Earl Thomas because of his name. You know what I mean?
Earl.
I mean, I love him too. He was great, but look at his age and look at the injury. It just wasn't worth bringing him in. So.
He had a lot of off the field and on the field issues too.
A lot of
His
issues.
personality wasn't really the greatest.
Right.
So y'all want to go into predictions?
Yeah. Stephen White, there's no stage for Rush. He was on the practice squad when we got him. Nobody's trying to trade for that.
A stage? Fucking dude, that motherfucker can't get on a fucking strip club stage. He wouldn't be worth his shit.
I still haven't understood why we didn't keep Gilbert. I do think he was better than Rush. So I like Gilbert against Pittsburgh. We almost beat Pittsburgh. Granted, they were the worst undefeated team I've ever seen in my life, but we almost beat them. So I think Gilbert probably would have been better. But they had to have seen something in Rush that obviously we don't see. I don't know what it is, but they've kept him around. So there shouldn't. But I don't think anyone's like out there, ooh, we can get Cooper Rush. I just don't think that's
I understand more what we see in Rush than I do what the hell they see in Ben DiNucci. No, he's just on the practice squad.
Oh.
What in the hell, man? What is that? What
Mr.
is this
Sidearm.
Mike McCarthy love for Ben DiNucci? It's weird.
It's like a family thing. He knows his brother or dad. Or, there's a history to
it's
them.
like DiNucci played basketball for Mike McCarthy's brother Joe in high school.
Yeah. Some
and I'm like, that's a reason to keep somebody.
Oh,
I wish I knew McCarthy. Get my fucking fat ass a big paycheck.
Right. I just want to be the water girl.
That's what I say. Put me on the practice squad as the water boy.
I can tie on some interceptions for $1 million.
All right, let's go with predictions. Get this party started.
Okay. And let's do the predictions. Dak starting and Rush starting.
Yeah, we'll do too. All right, Amanda, you go first. You're the guest. You're the lady. So you and Rika go first.
Yes, sir. All right. If Dak starts and plays the whole game, 41 to 27.
40 bugger.
Yeah, I really do. That's where I'm at with that. I do. I think this is a big game for Dak if he plays. I think because of his grandmother, I've got to put that in. I think he's going to put on a show. If Rush starts, let's go 27 to 24. Cowboys still on top. I said by 3, and I think that still can be pulled off. With everybody having a heart attack while Greg Zuerlein kicks the winning field goal. That's my prediction.
I apologize, Stephen White. I did take a comment wrong. You're saying, are we trying to audition him to see if we should trade for a quarterback? I'm assuming. Even with that, you don't trade for a backup quarterback.
Okay, I see what he's saying there.
Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't trade for Nick Foles?
No, God, no. Nick Foles plays good in one system.
So many people want him though.
I kind of would like to go into Philly though and give Foles a few snaps, knowing that his damn statue is outside of their stadium.
That would be funny.
Let him run the Philly special. That would make that would be.
He hasn't had a good game outside of the Andy Reid coaching tree. That concerns me.
Nope. Sure hasn't.
And his contract is probably what, 3 or 4 million at least.
Yeah, it's pretty hefty. I think.
I could do. I mean, I can just deal with what I got and almost win a game for a quarter of the price. I couldn't say Nick Foles will be any better than Cooper Rush in this game. Oh, another question. So we got Will Grierson on the team. Sounds like he'll be activated. How do you guys feel about him before we move on? I'm sorry. Questions that popped up.
Who?
Will Grier, the guy we got from the Panthers, former 3rd-round pick.
If you ask the Panthers fan, he's fucking Ben DiNucci of the fucking Carolina Panthers.
I've heard
that too. But like I said, I don't judge what fans say because our fans say some stupid shit sometimes too. So, but if you listen to them, that's how they think. They think about him the same way we think about Ben DiNucci. So
yeah, I haven't seen enough tape on Grier to honestly answer that question for you. He was cut for a reason. Yeah. So you got to look at what they have, and he was cut for a reason. So I'm not going to, I don't know. I guess we'll find out if Rush starts and it's going really bad.
I actually watched a lot of them coming out of West Virginia. I believe, West Virginia. I can see why they make the comparisons because he can be a little bit loose with the ball. He reminds me a lot of what's the career backup quarter? Chase Daniels. He reminds me of Chase Daniels a lot. Now I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's more of who he reminds me of. Just a smart kid. He can pick up a scheme well. I think that's why Dallas got him. Has enough mobility, has enough of an arm, but he's really just kind of an undersized backup quarterback that looks good with a clipboard and you hope doesn't play a game. And thanks, the lunatic. He's still in the practice squad. I thought they said they activated him for this game. My mistake.
Well, they did say they might. McCarthy did say he might bring him up, so that might also be a little idea to what's going to happen tomorrow night. Because McCarthy said they'd activate him and might carry 3 in if they were worried about Dak. So that might lend a little bit of, prediction to what's going to happen tomorrow night.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think he's a young kid, former 3rd round pick. He has some good traits. He can pick up a scheme. Other than that, yeah, but I don't want any parts of Nick Foles, especially if what the lunatic says is true and he has $9 million guaranteed for the next year. No, I could use that money somewhere else. All right, I'm sorry about that. I just had to bring it up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Rika, what you got?
Okay. Cooper Rush starts. I've got Dallas 27, Minnesota 24. Agree with Amanda on that one. If Dak starts, Dallas goes 38. Minnesota is still going to be 24.
Okay. I don't have a scoring that high in this game for some reason. I have it if Dak plays 28-18, and if it's Rush, I have it. That's a tough one for me. I don't know how much less I see us dropping down. I guess I say 21-20 or a coin flip 24-21. And it just comes down to, can he hold the ball in the 4th quarter long enough for them to not take it at the end.
Huh.
It's tough for me. I think we win by double digits if Dak plays, though.
Yeah, with Dak, I got it 31-24. Without Dak, I got it 34-20 Minnesota.
Ooh. Wow, Charlie. That's a major flip. So you said 31-24 if Dak plays and 34-20 if he doesn't.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I can understand why. I didn't expect it to be that big of a variance, though.
Yep.
Charlie has no faith in Rush.
It's a 3 touchdown thing, huh?
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, at 48 years old, I've watched a lot of backup quarterbacks get fucking mollywopped, and I've seen a few come in and do good.
Yeah.
And they're usually better than fucking Rush. Or they're fucking heroes like Dak and Kurt Warner and them guys like that come in and you got a backup that comes a fucking all-pro and a fucking Hall of Famer, which very rarely happens. And I don't see Cooper Rush as being that Hall of Famer that we got sitting on the bench.
We just need a game manager. That's all we need. That's all we need him to do. Just manage the game.
Oh, he'll manage the game. He'll get 20 points. He'll fucking manage to get us in that fucking 20 points in the fucking thing.
Man, I put $10 down a friendly little wager with a Vikings fan before I didn't even think about it for some reason. When they were like, do you want to put you just go $10 a piece? I was like, yeah, straight up $10, sure. Then I thought about it after I did. I'm like, shit, Dak. So I was like, oh, well, I might lose $10 this weekend if Dak don't play. But I actually do think we can pull it out either way. And I hope that calms the fans down because DC Farrell is a disaster right now. Everybody's worried. It's a mess.
Yeah, everything is on social media right now. It's always you got two hives, and they both got strong opinions, not always educated ones. But yeah, no, I think it's a big. I've seen this team without Dak, and I know that we had other injuries last year too. I get that, but I don't. And sometimes I think maybe some people are underestimating Minnesota a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Of what they bring to the table. So I don't know. I just like I said, Dak controls everything. I mean, he controls the pass game. He controls the running game. He controls the calls at the line of scrimmage. He controls the check downs from a run play to a fucking pass play, from a pass play to a fucking run play. Defense feeds off that shit. He keeps a offense out on the field for long drives. Defense gets a benefit from that. I think when he goes out, we lose 90% of that, and everybody suffers. Defense suffers, special teams suffer, offense suffers, everybody suffers.
Yeah. And I see Base Jiren join us late in the chat. He made a comment on my last video. So thank you for tuning in. We're about to close it out, but we appreciate you coming in and giving your comment saying Rush isn't leading to a win with the Vikings. You're on the same boat as Charley. It's a coin. I think it's more of a coin flip, but I can definitely see where you guys are coming from. This wishful thinking from me, honestly. All right. Is there anything we missed?
I just want to thank y'all for having me on. I really appreciate it. I had a great time.
Oh, thank you for coming on, Amanda. We enjoyed it. Hey, tell everybody where they can find you and where they can find the group.
So if you check out Facebook, type in hashtag DC4L in the search bar. We're almost 137,000 strong, and it's only Cowboys fans. You won't find any riffraff. We make sure that we keep it nice. Join the group. You can get discounts to Dak's business. We're working on a couple other special things, and if you become a supporter, you can win autographed memorabilia every month, along with all sorts of stuff every week. We even gave away tickets in the preseason. So you can find me there. I'm the head admin, and we got a great place, and we hope everyone comes.
How do you become a supporter?
So you'll just go, if you go into our page, just type DC4L in the search bar, and it will pop up on our page, and you'll click on it, and then the Become a Supporter button's right there. It's $4.99 a month. Everybody gets a free gift when they come. So when you become a supporter, it automatically adds you into our supporters only group. Last month, we gave away 3 different autograph things. We do an autographed 8x10 on the 30th of every month. And we do on the 15th, we do either an autographed mini helmet, an official NFL jersey, or you can win an autographed jersey. Depends on what we have on hand. But it's a really awesome group. And we've got about 50 supporters right now. And once you're there, you don't want to leave. It's amazing. But you just have to come to our page and join. And if you do, find me, send me your address so we can get out all your welcome packet and gift.
And you said $4.99 a month to become a supporter. Okay.
And it's not, and you get tickets. Like we're about to do tickets to a giveaway. We got tickets for this year we're working on right now that we're about to throw up. And if you join, if you join in the next month and a half, you're also going to get some other special incentives entered into specialty contests. So it's a lot of fun, and we do a lot of surprise giveaways too. I've got members in there that are big into memorabilia, which I'm also big into, and we give away signed memorabilia all the time because everybody should have something signed in their house. So
yeah,
just check us out, and you can always message me on Facebook. Once you join DC4L, you'll find me. I'm in there running my mouth all the time. You can't miss me. So just send me a message if you have any questions, and I'll walk you through everything.
Yeah, the lunatic is hashtag DC4L on Facebook. You got it on the screen right now.
And we also do fantasy football, which of course it's over this year, but I'm going to kick Bluff's ass this year, maybe if I can get any better because he's playing.
You and me both. I'm not doing good this year.
Well, that league ain't too bad though. I think everybody's sitting at 3-4. It's so anybody can break out. I'm just waiting on the right breakout game.
Yeah.
I started off 0-4 this year in mine. Now I'm 3-4. I won 3 straight.
I play 6 leagues. We won't mention the name of my admin team league, but I'm kicking everyone's ass in the admin team. I always give up a good fight, but this year I'm killing it. So I'm pretty proud of that. But it's a lot of fun, and you get signed memorabilia for that too. Like Bluff might be winning, let's see, what is it? 250 cash, an autographed helmet, an autographed jersey. There's all sorts of stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, one of my friends won last year. He got a full-size signed helmet. I forgot who it was from. I think it was maybe Gallup.
It was either Gallup or CD Lamb. That's the 2 we had last year. Yeah.
I don't think he had Lamb. I would have tried to get it from him. So
you should message me. I got one if you need it. You just let me know. If anybody needs memorabilia, you can hit me up too. I can find you whatever you need.
Okay.
My husband says he said there's no more wall space. So I bought floating shelves for my full-size helmets because he's like, there's no more room. What are you going to do with everything? And I'm like, oh, we'll figure it out. So I bought those floating shelves and they were the perfect size, even with turf on them. So now like everywhere in the house has a helmet. It's pretty nice. I don't think he likes it as much as I do, but you know, he's a good sport.
But Amanda, you did great tonight. Not that I didn't think you would, but you totally went over my expectations.
Oh, thank you. I love football. That's my thing, and it's not just the Cowboys. I love football. That's my topic. So
you'll definitely get invited back on if you ever free again. And I know I know you're busy, but if you ever think about doing this on your own, you should think about doing this on your own. You could do a good job at it.
Well, y'all know Big Game James.
Yeah.
He was actually, we were doing the DC for L download once a week, and James was our host for the longest time, but we kind of phased out of that and we're working on getting something else set up. Because I've got my admin team, we're all pretty well versed and we've all been together for 4 years. So we're looking at trying to get like a panel and start it, get it going. So, but I'd love to come back on anytime you need me.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Absolutely.
I'm going to bounce out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much.
No,
Thanks,
okay.
Amanda.
We'll be in touch.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, message me anytime. All right, bye, y'all.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, she did. Like I said, I expected her to be good, but she was actually she went above what I thought she would. She went above my expectations. One day, Rocky would get there.
One day.
Yeah,
she hasn't hit my expectations yet.
Amanda and I have to defend each other quite a bit in the DC4L group. You can always tell someone who watches football and not just the Cowboys just by how they talk about stuff in perspective, and she's definitely one of those people. Now she lets her Dak biases get in the way sometimes, but other than that, she's usually a pretty straight shooter when it comes to just football topics.
But anyways, it's the end of the show. I was going to do this first show, but I'll do it at the end of the show. Before any fucking rumors get started, because some people know about this, me and Rika are together. We are at Adam, dating, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I wanted to fucking start this narrative before the narrative gets out of control, because it will get out of control probably at some point. But there you have it.
Okay, it's official.
It is official.
You heard it.
I'm officially a glutton for punishment.
So how far apart do you guys live?
Fucking 5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we meet we got a place we meet in the middle.
All right.
It's both about 2.5 hours away. It's right almost exactly the exact same miles.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just thought I'd announce that because I wanted to get in there. She told some people today to control the narrative, and so I figure I'll say it too, is to control the other part of the narrative.
Yeah, you got to get on top of your own narrative, because you let somebody else take it over.
Well, you know how it is in this world. This world can get really ugly sometimes, and some bad rumors get started, and I didn't want nothing bad to happen.
Right.
So there it is.
That's good to put it out there.
Yeah, we're very happy.
Stephen
Thank
White.
you,
Mr.
Thank
White.
you, Stephen White.
Okay, I guess we out of here.
Yes.
All right. Are we trying to do a show next week?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah, most definitely. We'll be back. Check out Rika's show at 7:00 on Tuesdays. Bluff, tell them when you're on.
8:30 Central Time on Wednesdays. You can catch me on the Cowboy Zone. Just doing key matchups and any storylines that may come up. Hopefully we have another Victory Wednesday this week.
Yes.
Yep. You can check me out with Rika in this show. Eventually I'll get this DCU shit fucking work back out. I got a little idea, but we haven't. Again, I'll put out another video here pretty soon, but I'm only going to do 1 or 2 a week. And there hasn't been really a lot of subjects on a bye week for me to talk about. But hopefully one day I'll get Dallas Cowboys Uncensored show back and going. We'll see how it works out.
And I will be right back here with Charley this Tuesday night at 7 Central for the Rika Moves the Chain show. This week, my special guest is Wedgebuster from Twitter. If you're not following him, he's a great follow. Really funny guy, very knowledgeable about football. I'm excited to get him on the show. So
we got an article coming this week, Rika?
Yeah, you know what? I think so. I'm going to try to get something out. It's been a couple weeks. I've been busy with some crazy man that's taking up all of my time.
Oh,
but
don't blame me for the fucking blog shit. Don't start that shit.
I don't know. There's some guy who's always
Congratulations, Charley.
dominating my time.
You're now to blame for everything that's wrong in her life.
Oh no,
Exactly,
I know
yeah.
how this shit works.
Yeah, I messed up a thumbnail. Charlie's fault. I don't
Right.
write a blog. Charlie's fault. I fall down the stairs. Charlie's fault. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get something out soon. So,
But yeah,
Right.
Stephen White. Some people could tell, and that's why we wanted to get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want people guessing. So that's why we decided to let the people know. There it is. But we will see you all next Saturday. Bluff will see you Wednesday, and Rocky will see you. Me and Rocky will see you Tuesday.
Yep.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
10-4.
All right, night.
Later.